know, my homie Tretch from Naughty by Nature once said, if you ain't from the ghetto, don't come to the ghetto. But I'm gonna let one of our most immaculate tall guys take us all through the ghetto. Rick James.
When I was a young boy, growing up in the ghetto, hanging out on corners, singing with the fellas, looking for the cute chicks, trying to find me big fun, looking for some trouble, for anyone who'd give me some. I was young and crazy in the ghetto, didn't know what my life would be.
In the ghetto,
I was dumb and oh so lazy. Something had a spell on me.
in the ghetto.
You wanna know what I'm talking about?
Talking about ghetto life. Talking about ghetto life.
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
Talking about ghetto life.
Ghetto life.
Talking about ghetto life. In the ghetto.
So we be taking them chances while we search for the answers. We be smoking them cancer sticks. Police provoking. We dancing and we be dodging them bullets. They be popping off at it. But yet we always romance the street and fall in love with the hood till somebody come. They always up to no good. So all of my fam could eat. In the hood, we hungry. Ain't we playing for keys? My soldiers on the block, get on it. It'd be good if it's on it. We will take if we want it. See, from the ghetto, got a different state of mind with a different kind of hustle, and we iller with the grind and develop our muscle till we sicker with the shine and the struggle. Thus our money come quicker doing crime. I see the way we rep the hood. Gotta love me. You can take me out the ghetto, but you can't take it from me. Gotta love me.
Talking about ghetto life.
Ghetto life.
Talking about ghetto life.
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
Talking about ghetto life.
Ghetto life.
Talking about ghetto life. In the ghetto.
That's where we get into that street. Hustle hard, try to get money quick.
In the ghetto,
It's where I got my name from. I learned to get money and I got all my game
In
from.
the ghetto.
It's where you eat with a bunch of the wolves and get the hustling as hard as you
in
could.
the ghetto,
Until your cake stacking to get good. Throw a block party for the whole
In the
hood.
ghetto.
With them burnout cellies, talk crazy, sell drugs in front of Poncho Deli. Crackhead chicks still smoke with babies in their belly. And the prison elevators till the lobby all
In the
smelly.
ghetto.
It's where I keep my ratchets, get my instincts and survival tactics. Ain't nothing like the hood. I don't care. You survive it in the ghetto, you can make it anywhere. Gotta love it.
Talking about ghetto life.
Ghetto life.
Talking about ghetto life.
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
Talking about ghetto life.
Ghetto life.
Talking about ghetto life.
To my East Coast, rap your ghetto. West Coast, rap your ghetto. Midwest, rap your ghetto. Down South, rap your ghetto. To my East Coast, rap your ghetto. West Coast, rap your ghetto. Midwest, rap your ghetto. To my dirty South, rap your
In
ghetto.
the ghetto.
Even though they act rude, you'll always find a good chick to hold up for they dude. Behind the me and my clique on the move. We honor the code of the street and live by the
In
rules.
the ghetto.
It's where all of the hoods at. Find the most crooks and they sell the most at. Where you find beautiful women and rug rats and some of the most powerful people. I love that. Come on.
Talking about ghetto life.
You wanna know what I'm talking about?
Talking about ghetto life.
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
Talking about ghetto life.
Ghetto life.
Talking about ghetto life. In the ghetto.
Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James.
Let's do a mic check. Let's do a mic check. Who with me? Who with me? Let me know if you hear. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. I'm off to a late start, but I'm here. I got here. All right. Who with me? Can you let me know if the mic sounds nice? Can you let me know? I'm sorry. I know I'm late. I'm sorry. My apologies. Twin say we right here. No, you right here. Let's put the comments up. You're right here, twin. Not everybody. When I get off to a late start, you know how it is. I don't even know what I'm going to talk about today. There's a couple things. Hello, Mr. Wyatt. What's up, Aaliyah? Is that Aaliyah? Aaliyah Williams. A-Dub. I'm gonna call you A-Dub. You know, I mean, when you can't pronounce somebody's name, or when you know you messing it up, when you from where we from, we give you a name, right? We make up some shit. At least it's relevant. A-Dub. A-Dub. What up, though? Sounds good. Thank you, Andrea. What up, Frog? What up, I called him Frog. What up, Roz? Yeah, I could call you Frog for real, though, bro. I mean, you know, nicknames. What's today? Wednesday? Nickname Wednesday. You had it. If you don't stop that Mr. Wyatt shit, girl, you making me feel old. Tanika, what's good? Hey, you should have helped me out yesterday, Tanika. I had some cleaning up to do in aisle 7, and you should have helped me. You came on here yesterday with a phone call talking about I'm gonna have to check my records. I'm gonna have to check my statistics. I'm gonna have to make sure that what'd you say? Yeah, I'm gonna have to fact check what you just said. I'm gonna have to check that. You let me get away with something that only one person caught or said something about. And yeah, and to be honest with you, they would have had me on the ropes because I would have had to been like, yeah, you're right. But my mind was somewhere else. I had Tanika on the phone. I'm in St. Pete. She's in Orlando. So my mind tends to go to Florida, especially when we're talking about the Latino culture. Like her and I said, you have to damn near speak Spanish down here. I don't care. I don't mind. I speak, I do okay when it comes to the Latino Espanol. I do okay. So I'm not worried about that. However, I made a comment yesterday and only Stephen Speed called me on it. Didn't even say really anything about it. He just put the right stat up. And I want to clean that up today. You hear me? I want to clean that up today. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just, this is a live show. So I don't get an opportunity to edit, go back and change something that I may have been thinking and said something different, or vice versa. Sometimes I'm thinking something and I say, I'm thinking about something and I say it, and it's not even on point to what I'm actually talking about at the moment. That shit sound crazy, don't it? Let me fix this light. I know that sound crazy what I just said, but it's on point. You have to do this to understand what I'm talking about. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, and I know we all have done this. Have you ever listened to somebody tell a story and you really ain't paying attention? Your mind's somewhere else, and they're telling the story, and you being nice, you're showing compassion, you're showing like you really care, you really don't. And when they finish, you don't really know what they was talking about, right? You heard it at the beginning and you lost interest, so the only thing you remember is what they were saying in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So you lost interest, but at the end, you just be like, you say something about what you was thinking when you zone them out. And they like, huh? What you say? And you be like, no, what I was saying was. And that's kind of where I was yesterday. It's not that I was zoning Tanika out. That ain't what I'm saying. I'm saying that when I was talking about the statistics in the Latino community, I was thinking here in Florida, which has climbed dramatically. I mean, crazy. Tanika probably can vouch for that. I don't know. She might want to fact check. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't talking about the United States of America. I wasn't talking about Latinos are at 34%, which is twice us. I was on point with my numbers, but I was talking about in Florida. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Stephen Speed, I sent that to you in the DM because I noticed yesterday. Yeah, she says, yes, Wyatt, I'm not some of your callers. I love facts. I hear you. I'm with you on that. So I'm wondering why nobody other than Stephen Speed said something. I made a comment. I wasn't being deceptive. I was just making a point about how the Latino community has grown so much in the United States. But I was thinking, because I do these numbers for my work purposes, how fast the Latino population has grown in Florida here, and I had this 34.6 or 34.5 figure in my mind. So when I was talking about how the population has doubled over black folks, I was really thinking in Florida here. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't really mean to be deceptive, but the only person that said something was Stephen Speed, and he was like, no, Latinos are at like 19, they're a little bit less than 20% of the United States population. But what I'm talking about is between the years of 2021 to 24, Latino community the population has gone up 34.5 or 34.6% here in Florida. It's damn near 50%. I know that might seem a lot off. But and the only reason why we went there was because of their economic growth. They're not just a population. Tanika, I hear you say you can vouch for that. Can you vouch for this? Do you see how their communities are growing with self-sufficiency? Can you see how they have their own grocery stores, their own pony cakes, their own gas stations? They have their own everything. That was the whole point. That was okay. Thank you, Ron. Ron said people should have understood that. I understood. Well, I didn't really mention Florida. That's why I didn't. You know what I'm saying, Ron? I want to clean up aisle 7 as best I can. That's all. I just didn't want people to think that my numbers, because that could make me a liar, or it could make me somebody that I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you go do your research, that 34.4 number is very consistent to what I was talking about yesterday. And if you look at the state of Florida, I don't know how the population has grown so fast. And then, to be honest with you, their GDP has grown with their population. That's the whole point. That was my whole point of even bringing that up. All right. So hopefully we all understand, what I was talking about. There was a lesson to be learned there, but of course, micro victory seekers, I gave you an opportunity to get on me yesterday about something that you could have won at, and I would have had to backtrack and be like, oh, yeah, you're right. And then I would have sounded foolish by saying, but what I meant was, but that's okay. That's you missed it. You missed that opportunity. But I wanted to make it right. Y'all know what I'm saying. People that really care about what we talk about here, I wanted to make it right. I wanted to just let you know that, of course, my mind was where it was. And when I said that they have doubled our population in over this time frame, and I said they're like at 34.4 or 35.5%, I was thinking Florida, which, to be honest with you, it all has to start somewhere. You can start in LA, you can start in California, Los Angeles, California. You can start in Miami, Florida. You can start in New York, New York. You can start wherever you want to start. It has to start somewhere. And once it starts, it snowballs. It becomes familiar. And then it becomes a regular, steady thing. And that's all I was trying to draw attention to. And I'm saying to myself, how do people, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, because there are Armenians, there are a whole lot of people that hit America that come here for the American dream, not the American nightmare. We call it a fucking nightmare to be in America. Everybody else dreaming to get here. I didn't live places. I didn't heard it. I know for sure that people kill themselves to get to this country to do what they want to do. And then for some odd reason, we sit here and we keep on talking about shit like why we can't do it. I'm telling y'all, people, y'all might not like to hear this, but there's some people that just don't understand us because maybe they don't understand the psyche that comes along with it. Maybe they don't know the mental trauma that follows some of us, that has been taught to us since the crib. And I mean literally the crib, since the birth crib. Maybe they don't understand that. Maybe since an Armenian or a Ukrainian or a Latino from, a third world, maybe ever since they were born, America has been their dream. And the only thing that they could see out of America was opportunity. See what I'm saying? And that's why they have the attitude, or, maybe that's why they feel the way they feel. All right. I know one thing, where they came from ain't shit. I can tell you that. I ain't never left somewhere to go somewhere worse than where I already am. I ain't never in my life done that. From podcasts to TV shows to to radio, to anything you think. I've never left, and I've lived a lot of places. I've never left somewhere, not on my own. Okay, I lived in Fayetteville, North Carolina. No shot at Fayetteville. Just wasn't for me. Too many grasshoppers and snakes and shit in the grass. I'm a concrete guy. I'm a city slicker. I don't like grass and shit. Okay, you can tell by the projects. We don't have a lot of grass in the projects. We got walking trails in the projects. But I'm just saying, I don't do grasshoppers and snakes and all that old shit. And that's weird because here I am in Florida, but I didn't get close to the water. You know, like I don't do. I'm close to the water now that I think about it, but I don't do creeks and little swamps and shit. I don't do that. All right. But seems like everybody else seems to see opportunity. And I think if you step back and see things for what they really are, you might see a little bit more opportunity as well. I think you need to go somewhere where opportunity is just not there. This is a great country. It's a place where if you woke up today and said, you know what, I want to start a business, there's a process, but there's nobody telling you you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? That there's a process. Okay, you got to get a permit. You got to get a vendor's license. Let's just say you're selling something. You know, you have to get a license or whatever, some things. But there's no one saying, nah, we got too many of those. Nah, you can't do that because of whatever reason. There's no system that stops you from doing it. And then you get these other people who come here, who understands that the process is in place. They break the rules. They do a lot of things. They struggle. They struggle to make it. They live 15 in a 3-bedroom apartment. They do all of that. They sacrifice for their ups. And it's crazy because I was watching a clip that someone sent me in the DM. And someone sent me something about it was some of those other people from another country who was talking about how black folks are stupid. And see that I can't stand that type of shit. But the way our leaders lead out, Tanika said, wait, I got to address this because she's right. You know, I'm a little contradictive on that, but I can handle this. She says, Wyatt, you're here in Florida with alligators and pythons. Yeah, I don't mess with them either. Let me just say something to you, Tanika, if you understand what I mean by this without trying to escape your point. There's alligators and pythons in the city of Cincinnati. Go find me on that. And I ain't talking about the ones that we see down here. I'm talking about the people. They slivery, they sneaky, they slimy, they all of that, bro. I'm telling you, sis. Sorry. So I'll just pick the ones that will run away from me instead of the ones that tend to come at me. How about that? Anyway, yeah, I wanted to clean up aisle 7 on the thing yesterday. Sorry, I got text messages and stuff coming. My daughter is having a situation now. This is her second week in school, and now they're dealing with medical law. Okay, the first chapter of the book is med law. So here comes daddy to the rescue. Now, you didn't need me for anything. You didn't need me for shit other than getting you where y'all know what I'm saying. Mamas know. Daddies know. Let me get this because this making too much sense. Y'all know what I mean when I say you didn't need me for shit. I've been here saying, hey, take this alcohol, this rubbing alcohol up there with you, just in case. Take this up there with you. Take that up there with you. Do this, do that. And I'm getting on her nerve. Been getting on her nerve about everything. I got it, daddy. Damn, I got it. I got it, daddy. I got it. I know, Tanika, she said they're here too. I know. But when you don't grow up or when you look, the worst place in the world, Tanika, to make it is in your hometown. I keep telling everybody that because nobody can get past how you were in the 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade. It's somebody right now. One of my best friends, one of the dudes I grew up with, can't get past the shit we went through when we was in the 9th grade or 8th grade. I'm like, man, that shit is dead, bro. The fuck? What are you talking about? I lied to you when we was on Stanley Road, and I still owe you $33. Fuck, man, we grown ass men. You know what I'm saying? So you burn me for $1,700 later on in life, and I ain't man. So yo excuse this is how they play me. I gotta address that. I gotta say this, Tanika, because you're right. But look, I got a friend of mine that used some shit from when we was way back in the day that I owed him some money. I think it was $19. It was like $20, okay? And he used me to finesse me out of $1,700. He used me to finesse me out of $1,700. He used our childhood. And I seen it coming, and I knew it was coming. And I was like, okay, I owe him $20 plus the sentimental value of what I duped him out of back in fucking 80, whatever it was, 85. I duped him out of $20 and shit. So I guess, let me do the interest on this shit. Yeah, I can loan him the money for the car down payment. It's $1,700. He said he gonna give it back to me when he get his check at the end of the month. I know I ain't gonna never see that money. I know it's dead. I know it's dead. I know it's dead money. So hold on, I'm sorry. She has a question. My daughter. I didn't know y'all was doing that at Ohio State. My daughter just texted me and said, hey, he's giving out 2 Powerball numbers to the people who got answers correct on our day 2 law exam. It's not an exam. I know what it is. She says, I asked for $1 million if they win. I don't know. She just texted me about it. She's sitting in class, and I'm her assistant on some things of some questions that they may have. And I don't know. Let me get this out of here, if you don't mind. All right. That's weird. Okay. Yeah, Mama Birch, what's good? She said plus interest. And you know this one. You know this friend, Mama Birch. You know this friend. And I ain't gonna put his name out there. But yeah, he finessed me, and it's all cool. He took us all the way back to like some shit like 82, 83 from when I owed him $20. And he finessed me and used that old, that old school friend shit. And I gave it up. I helped. I had it. Now, he would have been shit out of luck if it would have been my rent money back then. You feel me? This has been maybe 10 years ago, and I still ain't seen my money. I still, and you know what it is? If I ask him for it, he gonna be mad. Y'all know how that shit go, the reverse manipulation. If I ask him like, hey man, you got a down payment on that $1,700 you owe me? Can I get 10%? You can't shoot me $1 like 100. You can't shoot they'll look at you like you crazy, like you really asked them for something brand new. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you and tell you, not because I owed some short money to him, because I totally forgot when he reminded me, when he was putting his play down and he reminded me how much I owed him, I really forgot. No, Jack, that car gone. The karma got him. The karma got him. I never tell y'all who it is, and if I tell you this little story, you still wouldn't know. He came to my office to borrow some money. This is a friend. This is a dude that this is a friend, a sandbox. Came, borrowed the money, and was happy as hell. So happy that he started talking a little too much after I gave him the cash. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I had to borrow $1,000 from my brother too. I didn't hear that shit before you asked me for the $1,700. So not only do you owe me, you owe somebody else, and that pretty much confirmed to me I ain't gonna never see my money. At least I'm not gonna see my money when you said I was gonna get it. I know I'm not gonna see it in that time frame. Dig? So he started talking, and he says, yeah, my brother, I had to borrow $1,000 from my brother too. This is just for the down payment. First of all, family, if you have a friend, family, whatever, and they need to borrow down payment money, they probably ain't gonna be able to make their payments. You feel what I'm saying? If you have to borrow down payment money, you're probably not going to make payments consistently, not on time. Who was that asked me that? Oh, it was Jack. He said, did he wreck it? No, it was even worse. It was even worse than that. Wrecking it would have been the best thing because he would have got insurance, at least some of them, you know what I'm saying? But I don't want to wish nothing bad on him. I just want to tell you the truth about this story, okay? It wasn't a week. Actually, the day that he got the car, he came down the very next day, came down to show it off to me. It was a Land Rover. Now he know I'm talking about. He already know. As long as I don't say his name, I feel comfortable. Okay? He come down to show me the Land Rover. It's one some big shit. Like, I ain't driving a Land. I ain't pushing no Rover. You know what I'm saying? So, he showed me the car, and then that's when he was talking too much, and he was like, yeah, I had to borrow $1,000 from my brother. And I'm like, so you owe me? You owe your brother? You probably owe a couple girls too. He was one of them type of dudes. And I'm like, I ain't gonna never see my money. I ain't gonna never see my money back. But he my friend. He like a Gucci friend. He like a good ass friend. So I'm not really tripping because I had it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been that type of dude. If I got it, we got it. So I'm not tripping on it. But it wasn't a week later. He came back down. I'm thinking, shit, okay. He called me and was like, hey, Rand, I'm on my way down to see you. Bet. You know what I'm saying? Thinking he about to bring me my money. He gets to the office. He ain't even driving the Rover no more. He pull up in some shit that he had before he had the Rover, the same car. And I'm like, damn, what happened, bro? Anybody want to guess? I'm not laughing at it. I'm just karma. When you do people crazy shit happens to you. Yeah, Linda says, does he have a job? I believe so. At that time, I'm pretty sure he did. He wouldn't have been able to finance it or do what he was doing. He would, I don't even know where he bought it. So it could have been, can you buy Land Rovers that buy here, pay here lots and shit like that? I don't know. I don't know. I ain't never really dealt with no place like that. So I'm not tripping. I thought when you needed the down payment, it was, bank certified and you good to go. That's just my ignorance. That's how I try to do shit with paperwork legally because it's too much of a paper trail. I try to do things the right way. Jerica said repoed. Not really repoed. But if y'all find this to be fair or am I pushing it, just let me know. What happened is a week later, the place, the car place, the dealership, let's call it a dealership. The dealership could not get the title to the car that he purchased. Believe it or not, a lot of y'all need to understand. I don't care if you buy a new car or a used car. The dealerships do not have the titles. In used car situations, sometimes they do. It all depends on how long they've had that vehicle. They got to get the title transferred. They have to make sure there's no liens or anything like that on the title of the car that someone trades in. And to be honest with you, on a brand new car, you could go to a Cadillac dealership and buy a Cadillac off the showroom floor, and they do not have a title for you right away because chances are the dealership doesn't even own that car. I don't know if y'all know this, but the dealerships borrow. I don't know which, I shouldn't say borrow. Yeah, they borrow the money from the banks, okay? It's called floor plan. You see what I'm saying? It's called floor plan. Sorry, I'm reading comments at the same time. It's called floor plan. So let's just say, for instance, and I'm doing this just out of argument, just to make, I don't care. I don't know anything about Jeff Weiler or anybody like that. Say you go to Jeff Weiler Cadillac, if there is one, and you buy a Cadillac off the showroom floor. They don't own that car. Fifth Third Bank, whatever bank they deal with, Wells Fargo, the bank actually owns all of those new cars on the lot. They own, the dealership don't own those cars. It's something called floor plan. Dealerships pay anywhere from 0.9 0.09% to 1.2% interest each month on those cars from bank floor plan. They can have $1 million worth of inventory out there and may only own 20% of it themselves. Okay, the dealerships. So what they really want you to do is they really want you to buy the cars that they have in their inventory that are on floor plan. That's what they really want you to do, because they don't want a car to sit there for 6 months, 4 or 5 months. They want you to buy the cars that are already sitting there, that have been there 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, for sure. And the used cars are the same way. A lot of those dealerships don't own the used cars. They borrow the money from the bank and they pay an interest on that money each month. I don't know if people knew that, but that's how it works. And not all. Like, for instance, you could go to a small car dealership, a little lot, probably one that you don't feel comfortable going to because they look janky. They probably own their inventory. But now if you go to the big shiny ass Jeff Weiler or Jake Sweeney and all that, chances are they don't own that inventory. You know what I mean? The big Cadillac. Some of them do, because they've been making money off my community for years. I mean, for 60, 70 years. And it's kind of hard not to own your inventory when you've been around that long. And to be honest with you, this is why I don't understand why we don't have more businesses in the city of, I'll just use Cincinnati. And when it comes down to economic growth and things of that nature, and your leaders are talking about all this other shit, it burns a hole in my ass. And I know that's kind of derogatory, but it burns a hole in my ass because I understand finance. I understand how easy it is to have someone. There's no reason why we shouldn't have Lexus, Mercedes, or whatever dealerships in a community. And I don't mean like in Avondale. I'm talking about a business community. There's no reason why, just like they put up auto malls, there's no reason why we shouldn't have auto malls. There's no reason why we shouldn't have our own banks, because we don't really own it anyway. We borrow the money to get those things. There's no reason why we shouldn't have a Kia dealership. As many people that look like me driving Kias. We need to be buying Kias from us. And if you have any line of credit, you could do it no different than Jeff Weiler. We just don't seem to think that we can be the producer. I mean, I don't want to say that we're just consumer minded. I'm not going to say that. It just seems like the only thing we want to own, fuck it, is Dimmitt clubs and fucking rib joints. I'm sorry. I was going good until until I start talking like that, right? Yeah, it's okay for city council to sit back and make sure your club is running right because you're serving alcohol. You know what I'm saying? You got people dancing and keeping them happy and everything groovy, right? We ain't talking no real shit. Show me a club that's created generational wealth, and I'll show you a dealership that's been in your city for 100 years. And their grandkids are now running those dealerships. Show me a club in Cincinnati where the grandkids are running it. Where Mr. Kelly's at. And I got a lot of love and respect for the Kellys. I went to a school that they started. They are different cloth. But I got to make my point off of somebody that had a long run. Where are the clubs from the 90s? And they grandkids running the shit. Jericho said, geez, Wyatt, tell us how you really feel. I'm on point. You know it's true. They ain't going to tell you this. Maybe I'm not on point for everybody, Jericho. I shouldn't say it like that. Generational wealth is earned and raised. We sitting here trying to fight for liquor license and shit. Why don't we fight for a dealer's license? I could have showed you how imbalanced all this stuff was going to be. Look at how when it was time to open up dispensaries, the shit we went to jail for years. I remember running from Scotty. Half a pound of weed. I'm just being honest. I remember all that shit. We didn't been to jail for the shit that they legalize now and will have generational wealth off of in the next 25, 30 years. If I'm lying, call right now or tell me that I'm on some bullshit today. Who own the dispensaries? Who own all of the look at the shops they got around here now. Look at the damn the pipe shops, weed shop. Remember the Wilderness downtown? Anybody remember Wilderness? That's the only one we had, the Wilderness. Shaba, he says Thomas McConnell Cadillac before they sold it. My godfather built that place. He didn't bought so many motherfucking Cadillacs from Thomas McConnell. They knew him by name. He couldn't go in there and get an oil change without them trying to sell him something. Y'all know. Y'all remember the Wilderness? Wouldn't it be nice to have the Wilderness right now? Well, I'm not really a smoker and all of that, but I ain't got no problem with entrepreneurship. I have no problem with it. I don't drink. I don't do any of that. But that don't mean I got a problem with you having a bar. It has nothing to do with any of that. I'm talking about businesses that we can spin off and have generational wealth of. Where are the clubs? Where are the clothing shops? All the shit that we get into is part-time. It's temporary. It's trendy. That's all I'm saying. We got to get into something that's going to show me 100-year business. Now, some people might look at this conversation and say, hey, man, damn, he downing us and this and this. No, I'm not. I'm just showing you a consistency. There was a young lady. There was a group of people, a family. You know, I guess you could say barbershops would be one of them. Barbershops would definitely be one that we can have, you know, I don't know if generational wealth comes from it, but generational, you know, a generational business can come from that barbershop. But that, and there was a, I can't think, it was something Brothers. I can't remember the name of the dry cleaners where the two sisters had it. They were actually sisters, and they took it over, and it was a generation after generation. It was downtown and over the Rhine. It was something Brothers. I can't think of it. It's been gone 20 plus years now. But the kids didn't want to take it over. The great grandkids didn't want to take it over. Hudson Brothers. Thank you, Steve. Stephen Speed be on that shit. Barnes are related to me. I'm related to the Barnes through marriage. I've been knowing them for many, many years. Hudson's Brothers Cleaners. I used to take, the reason why I took my clothes there is because Mr. Jones used to take his clothes there, and everybody in the neighborhood took their clothes to Hudson's. I couldn't think of the name. I'm sorry. But yeah, everybody, and they were here. They were down there for damn near 100 years on Elm. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you, Black Lion. He said Wyatt, Hudson Brothers. Yeah. Anybody name a club? Name a club that's gonna be here in 2046. Name one. Sorry, guys. I do have a lot going on today, and I do want to make sure that I stay up on it. I am actually working at the same times. Vernon, I can't think of a nickname for V. Vernon Jordan, you're right. He says funeral homes are often passed down through generations, but sometimes the kids of our grandkids don't want to go into the business and end up selling it. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Barbershops are one. Funeral homes are another. I do know a family in Middletown, Ohio, who has been part of a funeral home for probably 60 or 70 years. They're not necessarily getting rich. It's not always about that. No, Regina, we're not calling him VJ. We're not doing it. You can. I'm not calling a grown-ass man VJ. That's my bro. I ain't about to do that. We better than that. Stephen Speed said clubs don't last long. They don't last long. And it has nothing to do with the club owner itself. It's just the type of business. All right. It's just the type of business. That's not a knock at the club owner. It really isn't. But it kind of backs up what I was saying yesterday when I made that comment, because y'all know I got a little blowback for what I said. When I said, oh, city council got a bunch of, a lot of shit going on that y'all see as development or you see as being positive and blah, blah, blah. All you have in downtown Cincinnati is a bunch of nightclubs, a bunch of shit that serve alcohol and all that. Them things are coming and going. And it don't take a rocket scientist to do something like that. And I always think longevity. I think, I think frames ahead. So I'm not thinking about how much money we're going to make this weekend, next weekend, the weekend after that, how much money we're going to make this month. No, I'm 5 years I'm 5-year forecasting at everything that I do. There's a forecast involved in it. All right. And if I can't think 5 years out, then it's not for me. You feel me? I don't believe in creating something just to hit a lick. I had a buddy of mine one time, came home from the penitentiary. Yes, I got buddies that go to the penitentiary. They still my friends. We grew up together and I got they back. They just made some bad decisions, but them my dogs, they my people. But you ain't gonna never put me in a position where we're gonna be in the petty wagon or we got a bond hearing at the same time and see who bond gonna be the highest. You ain't about to do me like that. I done seen that shit for years. However, I had one come home and I put on. And there's several that I put on, and one of them in particular was like on some other shit because he's seen the numbers, and he was like, "Well, damn, if you doing this, bro, you can do this faster by doing it like this." And I'm like, "Bro, that's the type of shit that gets you where you used to going. Why not be good with you? Happy? You think those numbers that you see right now are good? They probably could do better if we do it your way, but your way is illegal." And see, criminal minds think like this. Criminal mind people tend to believe in getting hitting the lick and standing the knock. Anybody know what that means? We're not gonna have thievery, or we're not gonna have hood 101 or no shit like that. But this is just my mind up against some of my peers. And it was like, they believe that as long as you make enough money and you can stand the knock, then you've achieved something. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, if I get caught doing what you talking about doing, we might have this amount of money. And it might be life-changing money. However, now I got a case. Now I've lost my license. And there ain't no coming back from any of that. So if the money end up getting messed up, I can't ever do this again. You see what I'm saying? I'm thinking frames ahead. I'm not thinking about the lick. I'm thinking about, well, what are the consequences and what are the things that I may be facing if this shit don't work out? Because one thing I can tell you for sure about criminals is most people that's sitting in jail, they sitting there because some shit didn't work out. You feel me? It didn't work out too well. Somebody then convinced them to do something and they thought they was going to get away with it. And now they sitting in cell block D down there and shit didn't work out too well. Not all of them. Some of them waiting to come home to some paper. Ra says, depend on the money versus the knock. Not for me. It don't never. The money, I'm past that. I'm past the money. The money is worth the knock. I have too much shit. I got shit to do tomorrow, Roz. I got too much going on in life. I can't go to jail for $10 million. Okay. Or let's use something really doable. I wouldn't go to jail for $1 million because I know how to make $1 million. See, some people would say, if this is the only way I know how to make $1 million, I'm willing to take that chance. I'm not better than anybody. I just think different. I know I would never tell Tanika. I've been on Tanika the last couple of days. I would never tell Tanika to put something in her cakes that's gonna make, y'all seen that movie with T.I. and all them when they put the weed and shit, they put something that made people keep coming back for the cake. I would never want Tanika to do something illegal to her cakes where now she's selling cakes hands over fist because she's doing something illegal, putting something in it that's making people, she's putting bass in it. You know what I'm saying? She's doing some shit like, I would never want her to do that because Tanika could make $1 million doing it that way, but Tanika can make $1 million selling cakes. So I would rather risk making $1 million and not ever achieving it versus doing it the wrong way, achieving it, and then now facing the consequences of what comes with that illegal action. I just can't do that. And especially at the age that I am now. Okay, if you really think about it, the older we get, the less risk that we really make. All right, not all of us, but the older we get, the more we understand that the risks are not always worth taking. And unfortunately, it kind of goes for entrepreneurship as well, because as we get older, we tend to have more responsibilities. We have mortgages, we got things, we got grandkids, we got things that we have to that we feel like we owe. We if we collapse, they collapse. So as here's Mama Deb. Mama Deb, they've been hustling their whole life. I got hustle from them. See, for them, Mama Deb, I don't know if you comfortable with me telling you, but y'all been hustling forever. Like y'all all one of the things I learned from Paul was no risk, no reward. If you don't risk, there's no reward. But I was 19, 20 years old when he was telling me these things. You feel what I'm saying? I was very young to be able to recover from a downfall. If now that same principle doesn't apply to me at 50. Like I have to really be I have to really be zoned in and focused on the decisions that I make, because I can't risk something that I may not be able to recover from as we get older. I wouldn't be able to do that. So you have to be a little bit more calculated when you get older. Obviously, I know I'm not telling some of you guys anything you don't know. It's just that when I was younger, I was more of a risk taker. And yeah. But I had a buddy of mine. I was telling you, I had a buddy of mine that was really, he wanted me to lose. Like, I'm not going to say he wanted me to lose it all. But if you think I'm going to do something to make $2 or $3 million and ruin my reputation in the city and through the courts, I'm not going to do that for the money. And if I do make that money, I may owe a lot of restitution. I may owe, I lost my life. There's a lot of stuff that comes along with getting that money. And it's not worth it to me because I can make that kind of money. And I just think that, sometimes people they don't see things the way you see them. So I'm going to say this and I'm going to say it bluntly and I'm going to move on. I promise you. To all my people, all my entrepreneurs, all my people who know what they doing, and just you to yourself, stay to yourself. Don't worry about what people say about you. Don't worry about if people think you slow, if they don't want you to steal something or, do some illegal shit to come up, or they think you lame because you won't do the shit that they'll do. They probably been places you ain't been. The penitentiary being one of them. You feel me? They probably been to some places that you just can't function in. You wouldn't want to be there. And I'm one of them guys. Penitentiary is not for me. I always made myself too busy for the penitentiary. All right. Penitentiary is a place where you sit there all day and don't do shit. I want to stay busy. You feel me? I'm too busy for the penitentiary. So that all being said, what's up with y'all? Speaking of the penitentiary, I don't have a clip. I was going to burn this clip, but I don't really care for this young lady. Her name is Cardi B. Did y'all see that she was in this little case? Did anybody? I know y'all seen these clips because some of y'all be on social media more than you be, you doing work, but your actual job. Cardi B is having a child. She's pregnant again, right? She's been dating a football player, Diggs. His name is Diggs. All right. He plays for Buffalo, I believe, or he may have been traded. I don't keep up with him. However, let me just say this. She's been rocking with him for a while. They've had a social media relationship where everybody can see it. She's married or was married to a rapper. That's a social media relationship. Everybody can see it. He cheats, she cheats, whatever. All this old shit on social media happens. Cardi B is somebody that I feel is Stephon Diggs. Thank you, Darnell Hunter. Ed said, risk your life for 20K. Yeah, in the song yesterday. Thanks for reminding me. I would not risk my life for 20K. But anyway, yeah, she's getting into it with these dudes on the internet and this and this and that. I don't know who she's with right now. It doesn't matter. That's not the point of my conversation of this. But check it. She walks out of court yesterday because she was in a civil trial. Someone was trying to sue her for millions of dollars because they're claiming, I believe it was a woman, was claiming that Cardi B put hands on her. She always talking about kicking somebody's ass. She always running at somebody. She always throwing punches and shit like that. But then she goes in the court and she says, I ain't do all those things. I didn't do that. If y'all know Cardi B for how they show her on film, she's aggressive. You know, she's a little firecracker. You know, I'm not saying that she's a terrible, terrible person, but you know, keep in mind she do rap about putting shit in people's drinks and robbing them. That's what that songs were about. And she was a stripper who lived a certain lifestyle that used to do shit like that. Rob guys at hotels of their jewelry and shit like that. That was her lifestyle. She bragged about it. Now she's a mega star. Only in America. That's my Don King. Only in America can you be that trashy and become some multi-million-dollar famous person. She Sierra Brooks says she was married to Offset from the Migos, right? The rapper. So she walks out of court smiling and grinning because she won her lawsuit. Or she didn't file a lawsuit. Someone tried to sue her civilly. She walks out, she's super happy. And she's being escorted out by her team. She stops at a podium to answer some questions, and a reporter asked her, and it was disrespectful. It was very disrespectful, this question. I'm gonna paraphrase it. The question to her was, first he did what most people do, and that is say something sweet to take your guard down. So he says to her, I'm assuming it was a man, he said, you look beautiful today, Cardi. You look beautiful today. She waved and said, thank you, thank you. And that is how he got her attention. By saying that, she'll look at him, and now he asked this ridiculous question. I don't know if it's ridiculous, but it's disrespectful. He said, now, it's been word saying that you don't know who the father is between Diggs and Offset is telling everybody that that's his fourth child or something like that, and blah, 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 blah. She got mad in front of everybody outside of the courthouse that she just won a civil suit, saying that she was not the aggressor in a situation. Did anybody see this? Did anyone see this? So she's walking out. This question is asked to her. She grabs something from another reporter and throws it at the guy while cameras are on and people are asking questions in broad daylight, coming out of the courthouse from being accused of being an aggressor and hitting somebody. This is how smart she is. That's how smart she is. You just won a lawsuit. Someone was trying to, I don't know, I think it was 20 million, trying to sue her for like 20, $24 million civilly. She turns around and says, that's a ridiculous question. That's a disrespectful question. But she grabs something and throw it at the reporter. I've seen her on stage in Florida. I wasn't there, but she was, I think, in Daytona doing a show. And it was hot outside. They were at the beach. She had a swimsuit on. She had the microphone on. She was walking down the stage back and forth. There's water being thrown in the air in the crowd, and somebody threw some water, not even a water bottle, a cup of water. They threw it up on stage, and it got on her. And she took the microphone that she was fake rapping in and threw the motherfucker at the person. She hit the person with the microphone. Now, this is somebody that just stood at the podium yesterday and said, I'm tired of people suing me. I'm going to start if you sue me for me not doing anything, I'm going to turn around and countersue you because I can't just be giving my money out there. I told y'all she was an idiot a long time ago when she was up there talking about vote for Joe Biden. I told y'all she was, I know that's going to lose some folks, but I told y'all a few years ago, why would you have somebody up there like that? She is a mess. She out here rapping to our daughters, talking about WAP. These are superstars in our communities. These are the people that our kids look up to. If we're wondering why our kids are acting the way they acting, you might want to look at some of their mentors. Yeah, that's what it is. She walks out of court bitching and complaining about how people are just harassing her and she ain't doing anything. They just trying. She said, now this is how elitist she is now. The same folks, the same people she make her money off of, this is what she said. Did y'all hear this? I don't sit at home all day not doing anything. I don't just sit at home not doing nothing. I work for my money. Who she sound like, y'all? She's basically saying, I'm not on welfare. I don't sit around not doing nothing. Y'all hear? Do you hear how she's changed a little bit? Because we already know who you were before you made it to stardom. We know that you was crooking, and we know you was crooking. But now you want to turn around, and the same people you make your money off of are the people that sit at home and go to clubs on Tuesday special nights, Thursday night, because they ain't got shit to do tomorrow. Them your people. That's the same people those are the people they wanted you to wake up to go vote. Yeah, that's why they had your ass out there. That's why they paid you that $100,000 to go up there and talk for that lady and say all that shit, because they know that you have a base. They don't care how stupid they are. They don't care how educated they are. They don't care how much they know about policy. None of that shit really matters. Just get your ass out there and do what you was doing. We're going to pay you. I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody was expecting Cardi B to be up there, popping off for politicians. And then when shit got crazy, y'all remember she went on IG and was telling everybody like, I ain't gonna help nobody this time because this shit is getting crazy. All my family members talking about groceries too high and this and everything costs too much. What we supposed to be doing out here? She looks stupid as hell, right? Y'all remember that? Yeah, I know. Now Charlemagne the God and all of them starting to come up here and say the shit that we were saying right here on Wyatt Live. At least I was getting a lot of blowback for telling the truth in real time. In real time. None of them. Charlemagne, none of them. Big shows. Stephen A. Smith, big shows. Millions of followers and millions of viewers. And they wouldn't keep shit 100 in real time. And that's how you lose. Not them. Because they know that people got a short memory. They know that people don't care. They just want to be entertained. They don't care. They really don't. People don't really care. Now Charlemagne the God and them got the guys, the ex people that was running in the campaigns and shit up there talking about some, man, we could see, everybody know that they had Joe Biden popped up and that he couldn't remember nothing and this was going on and that was going on. But Charlemagne, you never said anything in real time, bro. How could y'all even respect these people? Even Charlemagne now was saying the same thing that I was saying at a time that y'all called me all kind of names. When Charlemagne was saying, Charlemagne now is saying, y'all didn't even have now it's y'all. It's y'all now. Back then it was us. That's how he's saying now to some people on this show, y'all didn't even have a primary. Y'all just made us use whoever y'all wanted us to have. Y'all threw other people, good candidates, out of the way. Y'all did what y'all wanted to. Don't nobody want to hear that shit, bro. Don't nobody want to hear that shit because we was talking about it in real time and was called Trumpsters and called all this old other shit. And now they all starting to say the same thing that I said. Everything y'all was saying back then, I was saying, everything that I was saying back then, you trying to say now. And basically, what did I say? I never said anything derogatory about anybody. Matter of fact, I was against the derogatory stuff. I told everybody, why y'all say so much bad shit about one side and don't say nothing good about your side? Well, that's, it is what it is. Let's move on. Just go to the Breakfast Club. Go to the Breakfast Club and see what Charlemagne and them talking about these days. Go on over there and see what they talking about. All right, so look, I'm off of that. I put a post up on my page. I got 10K on Bud. For people that don't know, Bud is a fighter. Bud is a boxer. And he's fighting Canelo, a Mexican killer. I believe it's September 13th. So we got about 10 days. I know Bud. This ain't got nothing to do with me knowing him personally. I love Bud. I love Bomac. They're my guys. But if I didn't think they could win, I wouldn't vouch. Matter of fact, I just wouldn't say nothing about it. I've always had the most confidence in Bud. He's always been the underdog. He's always been that guy that people underestimated. You know why I like him the most? Because number one, he's humble. He's a good guy. I mean, nobody's perfect. I can find flaws in anybody. Everybody can find a flaw in me. What I like about Bud is he is a humble individual. Okay. But I think the biggest thing I like about him is that underdog, that underdog part of him. See, I got this thing that really bothers me about big city people. I don't know if I should share this with you guys because some of you are probably from some big cities, but I can't stand New Yorkers. I'm sorry, Brooklyn, but y'all started this shit. I can't stand big city shit talkers. I can't stand them because they think that you're supposed to be scared of their ass because they from Brooklyn. They think you supposed to be scared of their ass because they from the Bronx. Now, I'm from motherfucking Bronx. Shut your punk ass. So what? Now, what you gonna... Is the whole Bronx about to come down here and beat my ass, or are you gonna beat my ass? Let's see what we about to do. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand... I'm from Parks. I don't care. Like, I mean, when I tell you I'm from down the way, it's because of my mentality. But that don't make me tougher than nobody from Avondale. It don't make me tougher than nobody from West Side. I'm just saying, we do things a certain way from being down the way. We see things a little bit different in the city of Cincinnati. It ain't we're tough. I don't think we're tougher. I ain't never said, boy, you ain't never heard me go through the Fay Apartments talking about I'm from downtown. I'm from down the way. No, you say I'm from downtown, I'm from down the way. See what I'm saying? It's not I'm from downtown, I'm tougher than anybody in the city. That's not what it is. Avondale has their own stroke. West Side got their own stroke. Down the way got their own stroke. But if you go to New York, they talking about you ain't shit if you ain't from Brooklyn. You ain't shit if you ain't from Staten Island. You ain't shit. They tougher than Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? There you go, Vernon. It's like if you're not from their land, if you're not from where they come from, you ain't shit. You can be from New York. You know what I'm saying? You can be from New York, but if you're not from one of these neighborhoods, anybody deal with anybody from, you know what I'm saying? Anybody dealt with any New Yorkers? Tough New Yorkers. Not a mellow, not a regular New York. I'm talking about those tough. They think because they had the late, like Nas. You from where Nas from, so now you tough? I can't stand it. Now, I've lived places in my life where it was a mixture of people like color, and I could get past everything, cultural differences and all that. The one thing I could not get past are those New Yorkers. I tell you who else is like that. Y'all ain't gonna like this, and I'm probably gonna get a lot of feedback. I'm gonna get some blowback from y'all's favorite guy. Chicago. Chicago the same way. If you from the south side of Chicago, ain't nowhere else in this world better than the south side of Chicago. And everybody from Chicago, from the south side of Chicago, can beat everybody's ass in their mind. You hear what I'm saying to you? Everybody from Chicago, if you from the south side, can beat everybody's ass. They the toughest people on this planet. It's a badge of honor to be able to beat everybody's ass. And that's the only thing I didn't like about Chicago is Southsiders. And I don't mean I don't dislike all of them. I'm talking about if you from the south side of Chicago, you can beat God ass. That ain't me saying that. I'm telling you how they represent. I got a receipt. I don't even think I still had a video. I can look for it. It might take me a minute. But remember the dude from Chicago, Southside Chicago, who walked through the T? Oh, Tanika says most of the people that I meet in Orlando are from New York, because most people that live in Orlando aren't even from Orlando. You probably know that because it's central Florida, and a lot of people do live there from New York because they take their businesses from New York to Orlando. And answer this for me, Tanika. Tell me if I'm on point on this or not. This you and me, this you and I, sis. Check. Aren't they arrogant? How many New Yorkers you know live in Orlando, sis, that's super nice? They some arrogant motherfuckers. They some keep to themselves, but they also look at you like you stepped in something and they trying to get away from you because they don't want the smell to hit them. New Yorkers have this arrogant way of dealing with shit. They understand to mind their own business, but they mind their own business nasty. They side eye your ass all the time. They're just disrespectful without even saying anything. And I know I'm about to get some blow because I know Lee, he gonna call me. These are some of the people that I know. Yeah, I know I go to Brooklyn. I go to Brooklyn. I go to the fights in Brooklyn and the Barclays. I have friends that live in Brooklyn that are fighters, that are trainers. I have people that I know. But to be honest with you, they just some of the most arrogant people because they think Brooklyn is gonna save them. They think that you're gonna bow down when you get into a confrontation or argument. You could be talking about LeBron versus Jordan. And in some kind of way, they'll incorporate in the argument just so they'll make it seem like they're right. They'll say, you don't know, I'm from Brooklyn, son. I'm from Brooklyn. What that got to do with Michael Jordan and LeBron James? Who's the best? Well, y'all don't know. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn. Fuck out of here with that shit. I seen my boy knock out a dude from Brooklyn before. And he was, I'll be honest with you. This was years ago. We went to New York and he was on that Brooklyn Bridge shit, talking all that old shit. And dude, this was at the arena, and he just cold cocked him, said, well, pick your ass up off the floor, Brooklyn. That's what I seen it. I ain't gonna brag about it because I probably shouldn't even have said anything about it because I was questioned about it. And I said, I ain't see nothing. I ain't see nothing, hear nothing. I just seen a dude laying on the ground. I don't know what happened, sir. I don't know what happened, officer. But oh, come on now, Tanika. She said, no, the ones I know are super nice. I typically attract nice people. Okay, that's cool. You probably meet the ones at church. They probably a little bit different. The New Yorkers that go to your church are probably not assholes. I'm just saying. They're probably generally nice people. But for the most part, if you go to Orlando and you hit, what is that? Oh, if you go over to Kissimmee and you deal to the ones in the business district, because I don't go to Orlando and not go over where the attractions are. I'm gonna go down to Disney Springs and shit like that. And you run into those people that have those businesses over there not in Disney, but over in, you had that little strip over there, the fruit stands and things of that nature over in Kissimmee. And they're usually people from New York and stuff like that. And they're just rude. They're just rude. Get what you want. Get what you want and move. Get what you want. Lines getting long. Get what you want. Get what you want. Let's go. Like, I'm a grown-ass man. This ain't no penny candy store. You ain't talking no kids. Fuck, there's a fruit stand. I'll take all day. I'm going to pick the nice fruit that I want. You got it sitting out here. If you don't want me to pick it and squeeze it and see what's up, put all the shit in a bag and hand me a bag. I won't buy it that way. But don't treat me like I don't have the time. This is pick your own fruit. Don't rush me. Those are the people I'm talking about, Tanika. You know they exist. And they might not be your friend. They may not gravitate to you, but they out there over there in Orlando. All right. She said, nope, not at church at all. You're just going to be that. You're just going to be a opposite today, huh? It's all good, sis. All right. So look, I do have 10K on Bud. Bud is Bud Crawford, Terrence Crawford. He's fighting Canelo. Going to be a tough fight for Bud, but I think it's going to be a tougher fight for Canelo. See, everybody talking about how Bud ain't going to be able to do this, Bud ain't going to be able to do that. But see, I see things a little bit different. I say, well, Canelo's not going to be able to do the things that he's been able to do to a lot of other people. Feel what I'm saying? David Herring, what's up, bro? I didn't even know you were here. I don't think Canelo is going to be able to get away with the things that he normally gets away with in this fight game. I'll talk about it a little closer to when we get to the fight date. I believe it's the 13th of this month. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to sell something to you right now. I'm getting into the V-Box business. Guys, I got V-Boxes on sale for $2.99, but I have them on sale. We're going to run like a coupon, a 15-20% coupon. They'll be here in stock I believe this week. I'll call my people and see what's going on. Trust me, that fight is going to be on, I don't know. I think it's actually, I don't even think this is a pay-per-view fight now that I think about it. It might be on YouTube. But the fights that we normally see are $75, $80. By the time you buy two fights for the year, you've pretty much paid for this box. You understand? You have all these different channels. I love mine because I can watch the news from any city. I can watch Chicago, LA, Cincinnati. I can watch Orlando. I can watch New York. I can watch any news station across the country. And also there's these movie channels. I mean, you don't need cable. You feel me? Like you don't. I stood away from selling them or being part of it because, to be honest with you, I thought it was too good to be true. I thought it was too good to be true. I was like, how can I get all of this for one price? You know what I'm saying? I'm paying $150, $175 a month for cable. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, in 2 months, I made my money. Vernon said, I love my V-Box. I have 3 of them. I got more than that. You know what I'm saying? I even sent one off to my baby at college, both of them. Yeah, David Henry said the fight is on Netflix. This time. Princess Flower says, I have 5 super boxes. That's about what we have in our house. Because I'm not the type that unplug it and go take it to, it's too complicated to do all that. Jericho Rhodes said, are the V-Boxes legal? Yes. The only thing that you can't do with the V-Boxes is you can't charge monthly for them. These things are programmed. It's just like something that once you get the box, you plug it up and then it'll download an app. It's an app that the box is able to connect to. And that app is what channels all these different channels. And it's like all this, you get all these different sports channels from across the world. You get all these HBOs and Cinemax. They still got Cinemax and show all of that, guys. I'm telling you, listen, bro. I have mine over a year. There's no way in hell I would come on here. And I've been here 5.5 years. I would not put my name on something like this if it didn't work. All right. And I would like to hear if you've ever bought one and it just didn't work out. But we got to make sure that we're talking about the same box, because a lot of people get these what are they, those? I don't know what they're called, but they're those zip drives. And they're like jailbroken zip drives, and people charging people like $25, $30 a month for that stuff. And I'm like, man, I would never do that. I did it for a minute. My nephew, you know how they are. You support people. So I bought one of those things like 3-4 years ago. And yeah, I was able to get some stuff, but it would freeze up. And sometimes I have to call him and be like, hey, man, what happened? And they, well, give me a second. Let me get my dude. It's just too much of that. Where with the box, I plug the box up and I can get, Preston says, all pay-per-view events, sports packages, all premium channels, it's all worth it. Absolutely. If the shit lasted for 6 months, I got over. That was my attitude. That was my attitude when I first got it. Linda Reed said, where you get it from and how much? I have them for Fire Stick thing. I have them for $2.99 plus a discount of $20 off of that. So for $2.75. And I'm telling you, in 2 months, it's paid for. I don't know what y'all paying for. Can y'all tell me what you're paying for cable? I remember what we were paying as a family. We was probably about $150 to $175, but that included internet. Okay, so you do have to have internet. Am I sitting here selling this shit like that? I don't even have to buy. I have a ton of them here, but I have a lot of them. I would never invest my money in something like this if I felt like there was going to be some legal complications, or if I felt like This shit don't work. Ha ha, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I would never do that. My reputation is way more important to me than money. But I'm just gonna be honest with you. It took me a year. I've done my due diligence. I've had it for over a year. I've had one problem, and that's during a certain time of year where they do a download, and all they do is an upgrade to the system, and you don't have to do anything. You just kind of have to be down for maybe an hour or two, and that's only one time a year. And once they do the upgrade, you do the you reload it or whatever, and it automatically does its download, and you go back to having every channel in the world, damn near. Now, some of the shit I don't even like. I mean, I don't speak Russian, so I don't need to be watching no damn Russian handball or no shit like that. It's irrelevant. But all the things that you used to watch, like they have all these movies. They have all these movies on there. I mean, throwback movies and new movies. Like what's at the, you know how we used to do the shit, how y'all used to go buy all them bootlegs from the Africans at the wig store, outside the wig store and all that, the bootleg movies. Well, these are movies on here, like if they're at the theater, they're already on the box. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, this shit, Superman just came out. Superman was on the box. So it's well worth it. It's well worth it. I just feel like what I'm going to do is I am going to maybe do a commercial, infomercial, because I feel confident in them, and I've invested a lot of money into it. So, wait a minute. Regina says, so it's more for sports fans. You know what, Regina? Great point. I think what happens is I'm a little biased. Okay, I am a sports fan, so I'm selling it as if it's a sports thing. No, my wife is not a sports fan, and she watches the box, and she watches all her old movies like what's the whole movie? She loved Baps with, you know what I'm saying? She loved that type of shit. She loved old school movies. You know, all of that stuff is archived. It's all in there. All you got to do is type in the search of what you're looking for, and it's there. You can watch it. And it would be illegal if I was charging you monthly for it, because that means I would be making a monthly fee off of HBO and things of that nature. What I'm doing is basically selling you a box that has apps, and these apps go out to the universe and pick up the signals and bring it to your box. Not against the law. So I'm not going to put my name, nor am I going to reach out there. I don't need $300. I don't need $1,000 enough to put my name, reputation out there, and to, go to jail, face some type of civil situation. I don't need it that much. I would really love to pass on the savings to everybody. You would save a lot of money. I've saved in the year, probably year and 2-3 months that I've had mine. You do the math. If I'm now not paying $150 a month, what was that? Linda Reed, she says, I'm a lifetime fan. Does it have those movies? Does it have those movies? Yeah. I don't know what movies you mean, Linda, but I feel confident. I'm not just gonna say anything to you, but there hasn't been a movie that I haven't been able to find. I'll be honest with you. Now, I'm not gonna guarantee that every new movie that is about to come out. Like, for instance, I was looking for the new Spike Lee and Denzel Washington movie. I was looking for it the first day that it came out at the theater, and I couldn't find it. All right. But the next day it was on there. That new movie, something, I forgot the name of it. Can somebody put it in there? It's at the theater, but then it'll be on Apple TV or something like that later, or maybe a Netflix. I don't know when it's going to transfer to television, but they're putting it on at the theater for about a week or two first, and then it's going to be over on the on some type of streaming service. They're only going to have it at the theater for a couple weeks. That's what I was understood. But it was actually on the box the next day after it had hit the theater. So I watched it. It's a pretty good movie. I'm not really, I was expecting something different from Spike Lee and Denzel Washington. I don't need drama yeah, there you go, Twin. Twin says highest to lowest. I don't necessarily need those type of films from Spike. Spike is a great writer, and Denzel Washington is my favorite actor. I don't want Tom Cruise. I don't want that out of Denzel. I don't want I'm sorry. I respect Denzel more. I need a lesson. Denzel is my lesson guy. He's my guy who I need some history because he's believable. He's that. I don't want superhero. I need Malcolm. I need John Q. I need them. Ooh, y'all know how Denzel is, bro. Let me go to the phone lines, man. I've been talking to myself all day. Let me see if somebody got something for me. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hi, how you doing today? This is Edsel.
Hey, Edsel, how you doing, brother?
I'm pleasant per usual.
What's on your mind, man? Sorry, I was drinking.
Oh, there's a lot of things. First of all, black folks don't go to a movie for the performance. They go for the face value, for the face cards.
Okay, say that again, bro, because you broke up just a little bit. Let me make sure.
Black folks don't go to movies for the performance of the actors and the cinematography or anything like that. We go for the face cards.
Face cards. What exactly is that, bro?
The actors, you know, and how cute they are.
Oh, I don't
Because
know.
if black folks gave a fuck about performance, then how the hell is Tyler Perry where he is? This is obviously a big ass man and a woman dressing like a woman.
Okay, well, I'll say this. I mean, you may have a point there, but there's some people that like that. I don't. I mean, I don't. Look, I don't like his content, but I got to respect him as a businessman. I've always said that. But I'm not going to
looking at the business again. We're talking about movies,
Right.
cinematography. Yes, as a businessman, he knew that black folks don't give a damn about performance, just the theatrics and the bullshit. Black folks go to the movie for the party and the bullshit.
Well, to be fair, everybody that's tried, there's been plenty of people that tried that shit that Tyler Perry has been able to be successful with, and they have nowhere near been as successful as he has with it. So it's not like it's the first time a man got out there in a dress and tried to perform and been this ego or
That's
something.
the business acumen. That's his business. You know, he just keep throwing it out there to that Southern church audience, and they ate it up.
Because there's a base for
if black folks really gave a fuck about an acting performance, you've never seen an actor perform in a movie like Lorenz Tate did in Dead Presidents, where he played 3 characters, 3 versions of the same guy, and killed each one of them.
I think he did a good job in that. You're right, but I think that there's something to be said about look, man. I don't want to sit here and come off as a Tyler Perry apologist.
You're not a hater. You're just a lover of the black community and the images we see.
No,
we're tired of seeing this big monkey.
But wait a
jumping
minute.
around as a woman.
But wait a
this
minute.
This man's 6'5".
I agree.
You know, it's
I
obviously
agree.
his alter ego that he wants to, you know, be a woman. But continue.
I agree. I don't. That's why I said I don't like his content. Okay, I really don't. But I have to, and his business hand may not be what a lot of people might be thinking. His business hand, in my opinion, is the strongest because of what he's been able to do with the money that he's made off of that bad content that you and I don't agree with. But for him to be able to build a studio and to become his own boss of whatever he's doing, I have to admire that. Now, I don't like the repeated content of Madea. I think that I don't care I can't remember the last time I've ever seen a Madea movie, and my wife and them watch them, and I'll be like, I can't watch this. This shit is crazy to me. But let's be honest, Fame. There's an audience for it. Somebody loves that shit.
You know who loves it?
Who?
Let's be honest, Wyatt. Come on, say it with me.
One,
Black
2,
women and
3.
children.
I don't. Okay. I don't know. Do children like it? I
Name
really don't know.
Name one of your heterosexual black men, males that like that are your friend.
Hey man, I don't know. I can't think of one.
Exactly. Again, the matriarch doing us dirty, liking the dumb shit, bringing us the bullshit. Cardi B, the nerve of this former hooker, prostitute, whatever she used to be.
Well, somebody made her special.
Stripper.
Somebody made her special.
She out here.
However,
how dare her try to condemn this reporter for asking a very salient question. If you're pregnant, who's the daddy? He wasn't disrespecting you. You disrespected yourself by getting BBLs, fighting on TV, getting boob jobs, cosplaying as a black woman. You did yourself dirty. He did nothing wrong. How dare you?
Well, do you
made
know
a
the
song
question?
called WAP.
Do you know the question?
What ass pussy?
Fame, excuse me. Let me ask. Do you know the question that was asked for her to her at that interview that she threw?
I forgot how he worded it, but essentially he was saying, "Are you gonna know who the daddy is?
Okay.
If you are pregnant."
I wasn't quite sure, but I thought it was somewhere in that nature of, do you know who the father is between Diggs? Because here's the reason why he asked the question, from my understanding. I don't know if it was a rude question or if it was something that he was trying to get a reaction from because of who actually put that out there. It was actually her ex-husband or her husband. I don't know if they're exes or what, but Offset said that was going to be his fourth kid with her, from my understanding. You said
Offset's broke, so he's got to say whatever to stay relevant because his group is broken up. He was obviously the one with he was obviously the third member with no talent in the group, and so he's just doing whatever to stay relevant. I mean, Stephon Diggs is an NFL player getting nice coin in the NFL and probably will for the next minimum 5 years.
Hold on,
even though he's been around a little while.
Hold on, can I address something real fast if you don't mind? Because you're the perfect person. You're the perfect person to have on the phone when I address this. Someone said, Stephanie Hyatt, she said, how many black men have their own studio? I love it. We need some sense of humor with the way the world is today. Let me say something about that. I think you're right. Okay. The business side of it, I agree with, Steph. Here's the problem that I have. It's not an accident that they allowed this. He's a billionaire. And I've always told everybody right here on this platform that it takes a level, you have to have permission to be a billionaire in America. Okay. I don't care if you're black, white, green, purple, or blue. You have to get to a certain status financially before you can hit that billionaire status. It says a lot to me that the people that allow you to become billionaires, that guy would become a billionaire before somebody like Spike Lee, who's always had messages in his movie. School Days. Do you understand where I'm going with it, Fame?
Absolutely. You're
Days,
100% right. I saw what she said. I was ready to pounce, but I'm glad you did. Like I said, I know that your blood peoples, but I'm gonna fall back.
But it's fair game if people say something, as long as it's a level of respect here. I mean, I can't stop nobody.
That's why I can't guarantee you that level of respect.
But she didn't say anything.
I can't guarantee that. That's the woman that owes me that lost the bet over a year ago.
Steph, you still owe him a breakfast.
It's not funny.
You still owe him a breakfast.
That type of degenerate to be betting, arguing with random men, like I told you yesterday, getting in, thinking because you're a woman, I'm going to spare you. I don't give two fucks about you. You know what I'm saying? You lost the bet and you owe it. You need to honor it. This is why I have no respect for you.
Fix that man a breakfast. I don't know what it is that she owe you, but please, can y'all settle that bet? It's been 2-3 years now. Damn.
She could send a nigga Waffle House or IHOP.
I tell you what,
card.
I tell you what, man. I'll take care of that bet. I'll get you a Waffle House. I tell you what, I'll get you whatever it is. Is it Waffle House? Is it Denny's? Is it Bob Evans? You tell me, and I'll make sure you get it taken care of. Okay, on me. I got it,
but
Steph.
Yeah, they don't change the parameters of her and our relationship because she actually lost the bet.
Fine, you just won't be able to say you didn't get paid on your bet.
Yeah, she can say it's been paid on, but that doesn't change our parameters.
Okay.
However, like I said, but to your credit, you were 100% right. He was given permission to be a billionaire and to do that studio. And look at the movies he's doing. I
think they play a big part in it.
Big fluffy monkey ass shit. Basic, 2000 minstrel show shit.
And y'all got to think
Black
about
folks
this.
ain't in shape to be seeing this type of stuff on a regular.
And think about this, Fame. Look at what Spike Lee had to go through to put out like Malcolm X. He always had to fight for his budgets. He always had to fight for things because he knew it was going to move the needle in our community, that we would see things a little bit different. that we wouldn't be focused in on politics all the time, but self-sufficiency. And Malcolm and all that explain that, you know, in those movies. And as long as you getting entertained, you can't be educated. That's just two different worlds for me. Entertainment is the only person that can probably entertain me by educate me while entertaining me. The best one to do it, no, not necessarily fame, is probably what's his name? Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle does a really good job. He reminds me of you, Fame. You're not comical. You're a little bit more serious. But Dave Chappelle adds comedy to his messages that he's funny, but he's educating you at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? He has this level of being able to talk about the LGBTQ community, keep it kind of steady and funny, but yet send a quiet message in there as well. Dave Chappelle's pretty good at that. But for some of us, you know, we get all of these storytellers, and we get all these people that they want to call black leaders in our communities and stuff like that, and they're only there because they know that they can be the largest distraction.
Exactly. You know, because it's easy to distract the black community.
I agree with that.
You send out some gays, you send out a loud, obnoxious black woman, you know, now you got the woman on her side. You send out some, you know, some gays and whatnot. Now you got a few more people on your side.
You keep saying gays. They use more than gays.
Oh yeah, those are the two things they're going to send out.
Now, do you know what
they're not going to send out a strong black man. They'll send you out a compromised black man.
That's right.
Like the dude in Florida who got caught with bloody sheets and bloody brown sheets out there. He was the governor from Tallahassee, whatever his name was. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know that one off the top of my head, no.
Y'all know who I'm talking about out there. The brother from Florida. He was ready to run for governor, or he did run, or he was the governor. Tall, brown-skinned dude. Got caught in the hotel with a little short, stocky white dude.
Yeah. The little gay guy. I can't
think of
his name.
I can't think of his name right now.
It'll come to me. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that's. They also send different people, not just gays. They send preachers and they send activists.
Oh yeah, preachers and white allies, people white as the dude from
Fame. We're gonna start losing people here in a minute.
I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm forgetting all this. As the guy from TMZ likes to say, white vacationers. They'll send some white vacationers to the black community. You know, some Miley Cyruses.
Yeah, we about
some
to lose
Travis Kelce's.
Yeah, we're gonna lose some people here in a minute, bro. We talking too much. It get difficult to listen to people that when they talk like this. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. These are the moments that people can't stand.
I'm sorry. That's right, because they want to talk about how Travis Kelce is a racist, you know, for not marrying that black girl when he comes up on a woman who's worth 1.6. That ain't racist. That's a business decision.
Denise Davis, she says, where are all the strong black men at? If everyone else is a fake
there we
sellout.
go. There's just a loud, obnoxious. That's what I talked about yesterday.
She's
loud, obnoxious black women that have nothing to offer to the conversation.
I don't think Denise is that. I think Denise
brings. I think she is. I disagree with you 100%. Please tell me when I get off the phone. Okay. How you disagree? All right. Because you'll never convince me otherwise.
She
you know
said,
what I'm saying? This woman has never had a good man in her life. Neither her two kids or her real dad.
All right.
Listen to her story. She tells you.
Okay.
So what does she know about good men? Shut the hell up sometime and listen. Nobody's here to hear your fucking sob story.
Well, we're
here to talk about what's pertinent in the black community. And this monkey ass nigga, Tyler Perry, is not pertinent. You understand what I'm saying? But I digress. We got Cardi B cosplaying to black women. You understand what I'm saying? It's making songs like WAP and all the stuff she says, and has the audacity to go off on somebody, a reporter more or less.
But wouldn't that,
we've seen her in every public spectacle. She's been fighting.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it crazy that she's coming out of a civil suit? She won and said, "I'm not the aggressor." She walks outside, somebody says something to her, and she throws something at him. She'll be back in court.
I got you.
She'll be back in court soon because that's her personality. She's from that land. That's her culture. They shitty ass people, bro. Like they fight. She don't know how to be. She don't have any class, bro. And it says a lot to me if you use her to get at me. Like you think she's gonna deliver a message to me that's gonna convince me to do something that she talking about. Like whatever cereal she's selling in the morning, bro, I'm definitely not gonna be eating that shit. You feel me? Like it's probably got some shit in it. That's just how I see things. Anybody that feels like you can use her as a representative of anything probably does not have your best interest at heart. That's just me. But
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Yeah, that's all I got, man. It's always a pleasure. And I just want to remind y'all that you don't need to look behind you. There's either a wolf on your back or there's a wolf on your ass, but either way it goes, I'm coming. Oh!
All right, brother. I appreciate you engaging with us. That was Fame. Yeah, I think he has some valid points about Tyler Perry. I don't know if I'm that hard on him, but like on Tyler Perry, I just don't like his content. I think a lot of his movies are always in the same direction. Now, here's the thing. I understand. Look, you got some people out here that love those type of movies that Tyler Perry does that has women struggling, just like that latest movie that he came out with. They're all the same to me. Diary of a Black Woman, all that shit, it's the same to me. It's to the same general audience. I don't have a problem with it. I don't have to watch it because it's not for me. It don't do anything for me. So I'm not mad at those that love it. Here's the thing. Yeah, those same people could be mad at me because I watch Monday Night Football every Monday when it come on. I watch Sunday football. I go to football games. I do what's interesting to me. There are some people out here that if they ain't watching Scarface or watching Paid in Full, they ain't really watching movies. If they not watching some gangster shit or some shit that's out here like, some hood shit, or if they not, and there's people that only watch soap operas. Dallas and All My Children. There's people, what floats your boat is what floats your boat. I am not mad at you because of what you watch. That don't mean that I gotta agree with it and with the content. I'm not a Tyler Perry fan when it comes to that. But now I'm a Tyler Perry fan when it comes to the business. But now I understand deep down inside why Tyler Perry was able to do what he does and why no other Black filmmaker has been able to do that. The only person that I can tell you right now that I know who's actually on the mission to do the same thing is 50 Cent. Now, isn't that kind of the same thing? Tyler Perry, who kind of puts women ahead of men, makes women stronger than men. Now, this is just my opinion. 50 Cent, who his best movies or his best series are always about Black men doing crazy shit and doing wrong shit because we love that type of shit. We love to be seen as the underdog or the crook or whatever, and we come up and rise and we win, and then we broke down and we go to jail. Show me a series that 50 got that's making us look good out here. We got BMF, we got Power, all that old shit is fantasy. All of it is, okay, rise from the bottom all the way to the top. But look at how we got there. And I don't have to like what Fame is saying, y'all, but there's a level of truth there, whether we like it or not. And I'm talking about this movie shit. I don't know nothing about who he know and how they know in these stories. I don't know nothing about that. I'm talking about what I'm talking about. All right? Hold on. Steph says this. Stephanie High says, Wyatt, I am disappointed that you allow Fame to disrespect us and make no comment. Did you hear what he said about our sister? No. What? I let people say what they want to say. If they say something wrong that I don't know anything about, they have to make up for that. Maybe your sister will call and say something. I don't know. But no, I don't. All I can do as a man is say, bro, you might be off on that one. Or I don't know. Maybe they know something I don't know. But I'm not like, I don't know nothing about what people be getting into and all that. And then when I try to engage, then I get to talking about something I don't know anything about. And now I'm pulled into it. So, Sierra says, I think Ryan Coogler, Spike Lee, and Robert Townsend are better film writers. They are. They have more. One thing they have is they have more diversity. All their movies aren't the same. They have different directions on a lot of the things that they do. I can't say all of them because I'll be honest with you, I don't know who they all are. Hold on, who did you say, Sierra? Like Ryan Coogler, I know the name. I'm not familiar with his work. Spike Lee, I know for sure, and Robert Townsend, I know for sure. Maybe Sierra will tell me what Ryan Coogler wrote, like what movie he was in. Is that the guy that do like the Us movies or something like that? Did he do Sinners with your boy? Diane said he was disrespectful. I'm assuming you mean Fame. I'm just gonna say this to y'all about Fame, okay? Say what you want to say about Fame, but Fame come on here and disrespect me sometimes too. I don't hit the ceiling. I don't wobble off the track. Fame say what he say. Okay, Ryan Coogler, Black Panther. Okay, he did do Sinners. You know what I don't, Jerica Rhodes. You know what I don't like about Wakanda? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know that Black Panther stuff and that Wakanda stuff. I don't like how they did I don't like that. I don't know. Y'all probably gonna think I'm crazy. I don't like fake black projects. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like when you got all the back end being done by white people, that's not a black project to me. You can have a black screen, you can have a black producer, but the money is in the residual on those films. It's the costume designers, it's the soundtracks, it's the people who do the music and all that. I'm not saying I didn't like the movie. I just like full control. Not me personally. I just like it to be all the way. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, some might not agree with me there. I need it to be full control. The same shit they kept us out of, we need to control every aspect of that piece of business. You feel what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just how I feel. That's the bounce back. I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not trying to be that guy. I just believe that I'm not a black film. If my budget is coming from Hollywood and it's a black, but it's white money, I don't, because they're always going to make their money back tenfold and you're only going to get a portion. So it has to be financed by us, produced by us, written by us, patterned by us. A lot of that's just how I feel. If you're going to call it a FUBU project. If it's not a FUBU project, don't come at me with this fake ass, it's a black project, because it's not. You feel me? I don't buy into that. You know, it's like, I can't have no, you lying to me if you're a black owned restaurant, you got 5 white chefs back there. You ain't, or soul food, whatever. I don't know. I should have said that. Let me go to the phone lines, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. Let me go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
It's your sister in question.
Hey,
Okay?
What's good? Now, is this Marquetta or Denise or Davis Denise? Denise Davis.
I'm one and the same.
Okay, all right.
I'm one and the same. You know, when you have actual business acumen, or you actually have a life outside of social media, you don't want business colleagues perhaps knowing your private thoughts on public issues. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
And when you have, you know, when I tell you stories, I kind of repeat the same story over and over to you. The first story I always tell y'all is I knocked the shit out some girl and split my knuckle. Not to say that I'm big and strong, but to let the audience know our children can be redeemed. We have fights. Mm-hmm. We mature. We grow up. Sometimes our parents punish us and we are not disciplined well enough. And so the state got to step in sometimes and punish us. So if I say things of that sort, it's just to remind you. Let me say this about my wonderful father, who I can call right now, because he big on luxury items. And I think the last toy he bought me was a Cabbage Patch horse Guess what I named that horse? I was 11 years old. Guess what I named that horse?
What?
Edsel. I swear to God, because I had a student with me in Burton Elementary with that same name. And I thought it was cute. I named my Cabbage Patch horse that. I thought that was funny. But I'm listening to you talk about Black male leadership or the lack thereof, and it brings me to think of Chicago. Right now, you got Jamal Bryant, you got, I don't know if Al Sharpton's up there, you got Brandon Johnson, you got all these people up there, and they're basically saying, we're going to resist the federales from coming into Chicago, where Black men are shooting everybody, especially Black women. Black women was shot. Wait a minute, it was 5 Black women killed out of the 8 that died, out of the 58 that had been shot. And one of the women had got approached by 5 Black males with guns, and they all shot her. They said she was part of a gang, as if that justified it. But they're not outraged about that. They're outraged about ICE coming to Chicago. And the fact that most people don't walk around with citizenship papers with them. So they're going to put the police in between ICE and the citizens to make sure that the police don't help ICE get immigrants. But did you see today, it was like 800,000 pounds of meth that was seized coming out of Venezuela?
Yeah. Was it seized or was it
Did you
blown
see
up?
Where they seized it. I'm not talking about where they had to drop a damn bomb on the narco terrorists who bring in the drugs.
So that was a different situation.
That's different. That's a whole different thing. They had the dope in a tanker where you could pour the tanker. The outside of the tanker was camouflaged, but once you poured the wrapping off of it, it's pounds and pounds of fresh meth coming into America.
Yeah. Okay, I seen it on screen a little earlier when the show was on, but I don't have the volume up. But I seen them kind of throwing these little like packs of kilos out.
The packs of dope. Yeah,
I seen it. I seen it. Yeah.
Now, I don't hear, and I look for male leadership. I've talked to you before about King Randall and him incentivizing his community. This morning, he had 600 people up at 5:30 this morning running with him, fighting. Because when you run and you exercise, you fight type 2 diabetes. You fight that big man stomach and titties you can't never get rid of, sir. You fight that when you run. So King Randall got everybody running, including the white folks. When I talk about male leadership, you hear me talk about New Era Detroit, right?
Okay.
New Era Detroit, who galvanizes the community in Detroit to be more loving and to support each other where there's no food, because again, we don't have that leadership from either gender pushing grocery stores and community gardens and a lot of these areas that are food deserts. So you have New Era Detroit who come together and make the community stand together, pour their resources together so they all can eat. What has happened is the internet has happened. And because, I mean, the same way I tell my story, brother tell his story of your mama demeaning you, calling you names, making you feel less of a boy or less of a man. And when you came into your manhood and finally found somebody that might have liked you and appreciated you, took your sperm from you and wouldn't let you raise it, wouldn't allow you to have the type of time that you would want with your own sperm. Matter of fact, put you on child support. And now these type of men are angry. I hear you talk about Cardi B, but nobody wants to talk about Ice Cube, Too Short, 2 Live Crew, 50 years of niggas and bitches. 50 years of 8 Ball and MJG.
No, wait a minute, hold on, Marquetta. I've criticized Ice Cube before. I've taken responsibility for us being the starter of this madness. I've stepped up and said that.
Period. Because Cardi B, like you said, she was on trial for calling a black woman a nigger bitch. And the attorney had to ask her, well, how do you identify? She said, I'm Caribbean. I'm Afro-Caribbean. She ain't got no Afro. She has no African in her.
Well, that's our culture fault, because y'all accepted her and made her what she is and all that old fake shit. I don't rock with none of that she doing anyway. I think it's all a mess. I don't rock with none of them. Right. I think it's all a mess. And the only thing I like about Ice Cube right now is once he left LA, he became a little bit different. Even his music changed. Once he got with the Minister, shit got different. He went from bitches and hoes to a little bit more of a let's put.
And we had that conversation a lot, but it wasn't in the Minister. It was Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad that pulled.
Hello.
Farrakhan, because Minister Farrakhan.
You cut out on us. You cut out on us. Sorry about that. You said it wasn't Farrakhan, it was the Minister, and then it went out from there.
It was Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Yeah, he was an advisor.
Muhammad was the one who was on Ice Cube's record.
Yeah, he was an advisor. He was an advisor.
Now listen to what I'm telling you. Khalid Muhammad's family is suing Ice Cube today because as soon as Ice Cube got clout, he left Khalid and said, forget all of that. And he went down his happy little road towards his $300 million empire. But Khalid Muhammad had some fiery words for brothers like Ice Cube, who used the black manhood to stand up and say how angry and hateful they are of the white man, but use that same black manhood to oppress their community by selling drugs, by calling women out of their name. And here's the thing about America, when you say arguing with random women, have you ever went to work and the judge a woman?
Went to work in what?
And the judge is a woman.
Yeah.
You ever had a job and a woman was in a superior position?
Yeah.
You ever had an interaction with the police and it was a woman?
I don't have much interactions with the police, but I've had interactions with some women police. Yes.
You've seen some female police.
I've had interactions, actually.
Right. And you have to respect the authority of who they are, regardless of their gender. For Black women, and this sounds like nails on the wall, but this is what it is. For Black women, we are not in charge of the Black community. If we were in charge, we wouldn't be getting murdered every 5 hours.
Well, let me just say something about that, sis, because I think you have a valid point there. You may not be in charge. You might not think you're in charge, but you play the hugest, your influence is ridiculous in our community. You can look at a lot of the community activists right in your local cities. Now, I don't know how it is in Houston, to be honest with you, because I know that's where you are now. I can only go by some of the cities that I've actually stepped ground into. I follow the activist type of situations, and it's always in some of these cities, the main name is always a woman, and she happens to be Black all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean she's the strongest. It just might be the one that they place there, because we always know that. Wait a minute, let me just say this last thing about that.
I'm sorry.
The one thing that we don't want to do is, we live in a culture cancel climate now, is you don't want to say something against the leader or the representative, especially if she's Black and a woman, because now even if you're saying the truth about that individual or talking about where she's wrong, you're now attacking a Black woman versus the issue at hand, and it's used as a tool. That's why certain people go out and specifically grab Black women to be the person that they need as their shield, because they know that shield is Teflon in our community.
Mm-hmm. So the same thing for men. I always get the kickback that you hate Black men. Let me say this about Black men before I get into what I'm saying. My baby daddy, rest his soul, rest his beautiful soul. We raised 3 children together when we wasn't even together. That man took care of me while I was pregnant with another man's baby. Oh, I know you mad. I opened my legs to somebody else, had did not have an abortion. I kept that baby.
Wow.
I raised that baby. And wait a minute, she loved her daddy.
Nah, that's big on him.
And she loved her stepdaddy.
That's big on him. That's big on him. That's big on him. That's
when
big.
I
That's
tell
big on him.
you, when I tell you, I said, Dexter, I'm pregnant. When you become pregnant, whether people want to admit it or not, you become disabled for 3 months. That baby is eating every resource in your body to maintain itself. That baby is taking your iron. That baby is taking your sleep. That baby will make you throw up. And so you can't work. That man said, I'm not about to see you and my baby, the one I already gave you 12 years ago, struggle. I'm going to take y'all out of your house. Y'all going to move in with me. And you ain't got to worry about working while you pregnant. Because the man that got you pregnant, you don't even like him. You don't want to be with him. Okay, not a problem. Here go a house in Dayton. Do what you, if you want to stay in Dayton, I'm going to help you. I'm support you. If you want to go to Cincinnati, I'm going to help you. I'm support you. Rest in peace, Dexter. Thank you. My baby girl loves, I'm not even talking about his blood daughter. I'm talking about the daughter that I had that ain't his. Love that man. Went to father, daddy concert dances with him. That's who she chose to go with. Now, her father adored his daughter. But you know what? He's not in control. And this is what y'all get mad at. Because once you have that baby and the baby comes out and you're not married, that woman can walk away from you and she can rely on the state. She can rely on a white man to give her food, clothing, housing, medical care, a job. What can you get from a black man besides you ain't nothing but a baby mama, condemnation, no education? Are you there?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm trying to put my mind around all of this.
People want power over black women and our wombs that they're not really willing to work for. You want to be respected as a king and a man, but you bring nothing to the community but hatred, envy, gossip, drama, disrespect. And that's why y'all shoot each other like you do. That's why you ain't even got the white man ain't got to conspire against you. Black women are saving themselves and saving their children. Most of the single mothers that I know have doubled their education and increased their income after they had 1 or 2 children. The women I know who have 5 and 6 kids are some of the best mothers because they know they have to do it by themselves. Now, it goes back to why can't black men who see the problem, they see that women are in a stronger social position than them. You see your sons out here about to get locked up in mass again. You see ain't no food in your communities. You see that it's a $50 billion industry to keep you unemployed. You see drugs coming in from China. It's 22 Chinese nationalists in Ohio that got arrested as part of that bust that I just talked about. 22 Chinese. So Chinese people been running fentanyl through niggas in the hood. They getting a few dollars, getting locked up. If you know that and you see that, what are you doing in response? When you talk about who are the men leaders, here in Dallas, there is Brother Quanell X. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Brother Quanell X.
No, I'm not. No.
So whenever it's drama, whenever the community needs somebody, they can rely on a strong black man named Brother Quanell X. He got a little legal degree and he's popular amongst the podcast and TV shows. But he presents as a healthy, strong, heterosexual black man. And his main thing is to protect women and children.
Let me ask you something about him. I'm sorry. I'm kind of getting an idea where we at with this. Is he married?
I don't think Quanell married.
Does he wait a minute, hold on. Does he have a family?
I don't know that about him.
See, what I've learned is a lot of them type of cats, and I'm not disrespecting him, But see, those seem to be a lot of the type of cats that always want to be in these leadership roles, like your Dr. Umar Johnsons and people like that. They got all that shit to say, but they ain't really examples of what they talking about. And I'm not saying, because I don't know him. I don't know him, so I don't mean any disrespect towards him.
Sure.
But the example is better than anything for me. All right. And if, you know, I think the black men in our communities that are the leaders are the ones that are setting the examples, not the ones that's out here trying to save people downtown at the square and shit like that, and they ain't taking care of their own kids themselves. I just see that too much. And those are the people that usually, you know, that's the hustle for them. If they not doing that, they wouldn't be doing shit. They'd be working at a factory somewhere. And I
agree with you, because the Holy Trinity is actually mother, father, child. So I agree with you there. However, marriage is not a prerequisite to be a leader. Marriage is not a prerequisite to make you
prerequisite for God
socially responsible.
We
just saw a woman get killed chasing after her husband in another woman's house. The woman fired a warning shot at the lady. The lady was like, "You got my husband." Kept coming, got shot again. Her husband was with his side chick in his side chick's house.
Yeah, those things happen. They happen, you know, it happens in marriages. It happens in people that are single. That's called life. But in the ideal world, the way that God meant it to be, I think if it was set up the way God was supposed to have it set up, the safest woman, I don't care what color the woman is. Let's use a black woman, because I'm talking to a good black woman right now. The safest black woman in this country is one that's married to a loyal man, and he takes care of his hut, his castle. That's the safest black woman in America. So until we get to a point where men understand to keep their women safe, I don't care what kind of man stand up in front and talk about how we need to be doing this in the community and we need to be doing that, and these little boys out here doing this and this and that. Those are the same ones that was raised by single mothers, the ones that's talking all that shit, and the ones that are out here running wild in the community. So my question is this, and I don't mean to be disrespectful of this subject. This is what I really like to talk about. We talk about black women get the higher education and they got to do things by themselves and this and this and this and that. At what point does a woman look at themselves and say, I am not going to be that struggling woman that's going to have 2 or 3 kids with 2 men or whatever and be out here doing this on my own? Why don't you end up getting all this education before you put yourself in a position of saying, I got to do all this by myself? If you were single with no kids and you went and got your education, it would be a whole different path of life. Yeah, and I'm not saying that every one of those. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that every path,
but that
is
goes
the same.
Back to the men. Do you think your daughter is going to be able to find a Now, don't get me wrong, because I can hook her up. I got a girlfriend. Her son is a physical therapist down in Florida. He in his 3rd year of his own practice. Mm-hmm. And he's a black man, and he's not yet 30. Okay. So if she ever gets to the point where she needs to be networked with positive men who ain't trying to get over on her, who ain't trying to hurt her, who ain't trying to use her name for a come up, which
those guys are out there. Those men are out there. I think what happens is
those men are out there, and
absolutely.
they on the prowl for young women. It'd be niggas 50 talking about they got $40 for your niece.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. No one wants to address why both sides are the way they are. Women want to say that men are the way they are because men ain't shit. Men want to say women are the way they are because they fell for some shit or whatever the excuses are.
Brother Wyatt, I got it. I feel like if I was with you, I would have to hold your shoulders.
Okay.
Everything is not sexual.
No. I didn't mean it that way.
Let me finish what I'm telling you.
Go ahead.
We are fine being single. It is 4B generation, which means what? You're going to see a decline in the birth rate. You're going to see a decline in the marriage rate. You're going to see more interracial relationships, not just with Black people, with most Americans. People are not in love. They're not attracted to each other. They don't want to be in monogamous, loving marriages.
Well, that's because a lot of them are that way because of how they were raised.
Like I tell Anton, marriage cannot save us because our husbands right now are our number one murderers.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
come
I had to
on,
get that out.
sis. Come on now. Oh, you.
Look
Oh,
it
wait a
up.
minute. You don't
Look
mean
up the
while
stats.
you don't mean while we're married. You mean our potential husbands are our number
I'm
one
not talking
murderers.
about myself because I'm not married.
No.
If you look at,
No.
I
Wait. I
always
want let
tell
us
y'all,
understand what you're saying, sis. What I'm saying to you, when you say it that way, you said it in a way like our men, our married men are our number one marriage. You didn't mean it that way, did you? You meant our potential men that are our
no,
husbands.
I mean our domestic partners, whether we are married by law on paper, whether we're divorced, whether it's a domestic partner we have children by. Right now, Black women are in a crisis within the Black community. And
I don't
when
know
I
how
tell
that
you,
could be.
let me finish telling you, you can go to the Black Femicide Prevention Network on Facebook, and you'll see some of the faces and some of the stories of the women who are losing their lives out here. Like the woman you just saw in the news. It took 2 years to lock that nigga up. He sat and plotted on this woman he lived with, who he had a baby who was due the next day. Instead of paying child support, he called his boys up.
Yeah,
and
but that
said,
shit happens in all
shoot
communities.
her.
That shit
kill
that ain't
her.
a Black thing. That happens in white communities as well. And I mean,
But the stats is through the roof
I don't
for the
know.
Black community. And when you
to
talk
search on that
about
one
it,
because here's the
when you
problem.
talk
Wait, but
about
hold
it,
on. Let me just.
you get shamed.
I'm not trying
you
to
get
shame you.
silenced,
I'm not
and
trying to
you get
shame
pushed
you.
back.
I
Go
just
ahead,
want. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just don't want to. I'm older. I don't want to lose my train of thought. But let me just. I'm not trying to shame you. I just don't know if it actually makes a lot of. The numbers don't gel with me because if we have 73% of our children that are raised without a father, born without without a father in the home, or married, in a married situation, how could we be the number one leading? So that other little 27 percentile, is that what you're saying? The majority of those people are being domestically abused? And I mean, are you saying, basically you're saying that most Black women that are married with children are being physically abused, even mentally abused, and being killed by their husbands? The small percentile that we have that are in those positions are being done like that? And we're leading.
And I ain't just saying men. I'm not just saying men, because your domestic partner can also be your same gender.
Well, see, there we go. We see getting all out of these scopes of how things supposed to be. I see there's a lot of factors in how things happen. Me personally,
you can go to Meta AI. You can go to any AI, and you can quickly type in the percent of Black women ages 15 to 35 years old. What is the leading cause of death? And it's going to come back and tell you the leading cause of death for women 15 to 35 who are pregnant is murder by their domestic partner.
See, but okay. I see that's different than what my mind was put on. Okay, because domestic.
I'm not saying all married couples.
That's what I'm saying.
You
see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, sis?
I'm gonna tell you another great story.
Hold on, babe. Hold on. I gotta get this in so people will understand. I know what you're talking about now, because I don't want people to think that we're all over the place and we're just, I want you to understand. Domestic partner does not necessarily mean that they're married. This is boyfriend, girlfriend. So keep in mind now, if you said a 15 to 35-year-old range. I'm curious to know how many people in our culture that look like you and I are married between the ages of 15 and 35. I don't know too many 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that's married in our culture. I don't know too many 19 or 20-year-olds that's married either.
Different stats there.
There's two different stats, but there's two different stats. Wait a minute, hold on.
I'm going to repeat it for you.
Hold on. There's two different stats, but they're relevant to making the point of why you have so much violence in that gap. Because you're talking about people that could be dealing with young men that have street mentalities. There's a whole lot of different factors going on in that age group. All right, that's really relevant to what the argument is here. But go ahead, put them stats out, what you got.
I'm again direct anybody to the Black Femicide Prevention Network page. You hear the vitriol all over the internet. It's not just that one nigga. All over the internet. Kevin Samuels was known to try to humble Black women. Oh, winter is coming. 300,000 of y'all gonna lose y'all jobs, and y'all gonna be forced back into domestic relationships. You know, degree ain't nothing. You ain't nothing but a baby maker. You need to find you a husband. If you over 40 or 50, you need to throw that coochie on clearance rack. They love Kevin Samuels, called him the Godfather. He also was
But wait a
telling
minute,
women,
who was his number one? Who was his base?
and that was his base, Black women, because
Okay.
Black women want a man.
Well,
we want Black men.
it wasn't.
We want to know.
He wasn't convincing
I
men.
told Kevin that.
He wasn't convincing men that about women. He was convincing women about that of themselves. So you can't
Kevin
use.
Sanders spoke to a sister one time and told this young lady, if you want to keep your man, ignore sexual abuse accusations from your children.
Well,
Kevin Samuels presented himself as a image consultant. He was saying, keep your weight under 200. Makes sense. That's good for your heart.
let me ask
He
you
was
something.
saying, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Let me ask you something about Kevin
You know, I
Samuels.
go out.
I know it's cool. I love it. Let me ask you something about Kevin Samuels. What made him official? What makes what doctorate or what degree or what made him so official other than views? It's the same thing
with Umar.
Exactly.
But
So what makes
what
he says so prevalent to everybody just because people listen to it? And I mean, it doesn't, it's like what, okay, Scarface the movie was a big, huge hit in our community. But how many people do you know actually live that? I mean, some of this shit is so make-believe that it becomes believable because it gets a lot of eyes. It's just like Umar Johnson. He's had a 10-year run on a bunch of bullshit that he could not set an example on himself. Kevin Samuels got caught up in a lot of the shit that he was the opposite of what he was talking about. He had chicks on the side, same women he was telling that they was thoughts and all that old shit. Those were the same women he was linking up with. So what made him so official other than social media eyes? He's not official.
So
I mean,
it's the same thing. It's the same thing with Umar. When I spoke, I've been talking about Umar being a scam artist since 2009 because I hang in those circles. And I know that every time he go into a city, he expects some pussy, a meal, and a free room. Every city that he go to, that's what he expects. He expects a fine young woman to serve him.
Is that in his rider? So
yeah.
I do speaking. I do occasional speaking, you know, and I have a rider that I have to fill out. I never thought that I would put anything like that.
But people, listen.
I'm sorry, sis. That's weird.
I know I'm sick of niggas in drag. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of, I don't care how much you're supposed to respect this man or this woman. I'm sick of seeing men in dresses and wigs and lipstick and telling me that they're more ladylike than some loud mouth, what did Emmanuel call me, fat overweight with a cheap wig. Because you think a man who don't got to deal with estrogen, who don't have to deal with midlife.
You know what? I hear you, sis, and I agree with you. I hear you.
You got niggas running around. So I'm just telling you, we want strong men.
Yeah, but you know what? As a man, as a heterosexual man who feels like he's a leader amongst people, amongst his family, I hear you. That's probably a female's perspective of what you don't like in a man. I, as a heterosexual man who's a leader within himself, that don't bother me what you just described, because I already know what to expect from somebody like that. Like the guy with the heels on, makeup and all that old shit. We don't really respect that type of person as a hetero. We don't really rock with that. You know the type of man I don't like? I don't like the type of man that coattail off of black women in the community and act like she's something. Like, I don't like weak men that make women stronger and act like we need to be saving somebody. And I don't like that, especially men that are not setting the examples. You got a bunch of men out here that's making people feel like a certain way. We attacking black women out here because we criticize them for something they may be doing in the community that's not right. Or we feel like that they're part of the problem, but you can't tell the truth about them being part of the problem, or we'll get canceled, or we got to deal with do-boy ass black dudes. You know, do-boys, the guys that want to fight for something just to be part of something. Do you know what's going on in your city right now? You got people right now that are challenging everything just to be mad at something because they don't like how things are going. And what I mean by that is it's the same thing what you got in Chicago with your mayor there. These guys are do boys. They're not real leaders. How could you possibly think that Black Lives Matter and you got these black men that they call themselves leaders standing up? I'm going to where you were going. They don't want help to come in for real. So they'll be angry and mad and just stay on cold at the what is it? What you call them people coming in, the military people coming in. You know, they just stand on cold. And then if you say something about them, challenge them, you don't like your own people, all this old shit.
You're a Trump supporter.
Yeah, exactly. All of that. But you got 583 people shot and killed in Chicago. 90% of them were black men and black women. And
that's right. And
black men and black women
actually
did the crime. And now you got people that look like us that are fighting against and making up narratives saying we don't want this to come in because we don't want a military takeover in our city. Am I confused here? Is the military?
But let me say this. If out of those 58 people, if 8 of those people was an illegal immigrant or a transsexual, you would hear, bring in the troops. Or if they was part of the Democratic National Convention, because we can't forget that the Democratic National Convention was also protested against because people didn't fall for the banana in the tailpipe when it came to international war and politics. And so they protested the DNC, who was supposed to be anti-genocide, but because they weren't, they had to bring in the National Guard to protect the DNC delegates from the protesters. If DNC delegates have to be protected from the protesters by the National Guard, why can't Keisha? Why can't Trayvon? Why can't all of these people who being murdered in Chicago and in other cities, not just blue cities, all the cities have this problem? Because the problem is not a political issue. It is a cultural issue within Black America that we refuse to really take on hands on. Our men think we need to marry our women, or some of the Hebrew Israelites. This is why a lot of people hate me, because I go in that Bible. A lot of the Hebrew Israelites, they quote from the Bible saying, "We gonna kill you old bitches, and we gonna take your 12-year-old daughter." That's a religious thinking for some men, that we don't want them old used up hoes. We going to Kenya. We going to Brazil. We're going to use our passport. We ain't got to deal with this disrespect from these black bitches. We can go over here. We can go over there. And it doesn't matter where you go. We have an ancestral trauma that has not been healed. And because we refuse to deal with the real issues, it's easy for a cult leader to come in and say, hit the Cash App, $20, your hair nappy, your baby daddy gone, your son bad on Ritalin. I don't know no mothers who've ever put their children on Ritalin.
I know mothers that have allowed it.
Yeah, I don't know nobody like that.
I know.
And I raised an autistic boy.
Well, no. To be honest with you, sis, it was at one point in my life as a child. I was at a school, and the school called my mom in, and they had some type of meeting or whatever, and they told my mother that I needed to be on some type of medicine, and I think it was Ritalin. I can't say for sure, but it was one of those drugs that kept, attention, ADHD type shit going on. And my mother took me out of the school and transferred me into a different school. She didn't allow them to do that. I can't say that all mothers haven't, all mothers have done that. So
if they're not paying attention, you could probably get that mess over on them. But for the most part, what I hear from women is, I don't want white folks in my business. That's like our favorite thing to say. But let me say this to you too.
Go ahead.
I had a wonderful, I think I tell you this all the time. I say the same thing every time I call. I had a wonderful set of godparents, Kim and Elliot Vincent, and they owned adult daycare that they got Medicare payments for mentally disabled people, for people who were mentally handicapped. They just didn't, they couldn't function in society.
Okay.
For whatever reason. Making big money every month. My godfather was from the South. And I always talk about him being from Alabama. It's a different cut of man. Now, this was a brother who got up at 3 a.m. This is what I saw growing up. He would get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, put on his army fatigues, get his bow and arrow ready, get his rifle ready, get his fishing anchor ready. He would say, Marquetta, you want to go out to the boat with me this morning? No, I don't want to go. He said, it don't matter. You're still going to clean the fish when they get back. So he would kill venison, fish, Bambi. I used to say, quit killing Bambi, but deers. Wonderful godfather who taught me how to drive. He wasn't, when you talk about not having a good man in my life, I'm from the Black community. I can tell you about Lincoln Heights Missionary Baptist Church and the deacon board, and how the deacon board of all Black males made sure I had an outstanding tax debt with Silverton. Remember that time I seen you in court, nigga, and you didn't pay Enterprise rental car back, and you kept their car for 3 weeks, and they had to take your ass to court? I was in court at that same time because the deacon board said, we want to hire you into our church, but you got an outstanding ticket debt. And what we're going to do as the deacon board, we're going to pay $837 off of that so that you ain't got to worry about that, even if we don't hire you, so that you can go on with the rest of your life. There are, like I talk to you, a Black man, strong bondsman, committed father, committed husband, who talked to his community, not just capping on people and dogging people and dragging people. You sit and you try to educate the community about that 15-year mortgage and how it's a better deal than a long-term 30-year mortgage trap, that you can actually get wealth out of that. So I know wonderful Black men, but when niggas speak, I got to speak back, because these are the type of niggas you got to shoot. These are the type of niggas I tell y'all, keep your pepper spray, your stun gun, your personal safety alarm for, because they'll kidnap your daughter walking to the bus stop. They'll kidnap they'll shoot your mama in the face when, just shooting at each other. They'll shoot your mama in the face while she coming out of the Chinese place on her walker, which happened last week. They'll, the nigga that just recently waited for his wife who was trying to get a divorce from him, who had a protection order against him. He stalked her, went to the hospital and shot her in her head because he couldn't give up his. And I know a lot of men like that. If you lose your wife, you lose your life, because a woman brings such value. She multiplies your efforts. You give her a table, she gonna make a meal. You give her a house, she gonna make a home. You give her your sperm, she gonna make you some children. The woman is the table. She multiplies your efforts. And when you don't respect women, when you don't respect motherhood, when you don't respect, you get a chaos community like we have. So you can't expect us to honor men like that. Like I always talk about Eldridge Cleaver, who wrote in Soul on Ice. He practiced raping little Black girls and Black women because his ultimate goal was to rape the white woman, because he thought that's how you defeated white supremacy. It's a sick mind, and there are real activists. There are real scholars who have put in real work.
Let me ask you
but
something.
We overshadowed by niggas. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, and I hear you, but there's a level of distrust that I have. There's a level of narcissism. There's a level of I don't know what else to call it. I think the only way that we can be hurt at this point in 2025 is we can only hurt each other. I don't think we're in a position to let someone else, because the guard is up. I don't think anyone else can hurt us but ourselves. And I've been saying that for years. It didn't just start in 2025. I want to go back to the original thing before you get out of here, because I got to go. I'm at the top of the hour. But I just want to tell you that I think one of the biggest problems we have in our community are fake leaders. And you can go to Dr. Umar Johnson. You can go to that Samuel, what's his name? Samuel, what's his name?
But those are not leaders.
Yeah.
Those are social media influencers.
But they might not be leaders from back in our day, but they're 2025 leaders. They're new. There's a different way of getting messages out than it used to be back in our days. It used to be back in the day, you had to go earn people's ear. Now we're in a different way of getting our messages out. And it's about this internet stuff. The more, and I give you a perfect example, and somebody might call this shade, like I'm shooting shade. All right. I see so much bullshit on the internet that gets so much energy. And I say to myself, how does that person have 10,000 bullshit ass views on this dumbass shit? And I bust my ass every day to get to the microphone and to speak to maybe 1,000 people, but they got 50,000 views for some ignorant dumb shit that they talking about right now. And that seems to be the new way to get messages across, whether it's legitimate causes, illegitimate messages, or whatever. It seems to be how people communicate these days. I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she doesn't even watch the news. Okay. And I don't think there's anything wrong with not watching the news. However, I think you got to have some form of a news source. Her news source and these young folks' news source seems to be TikTok. And I'm talking about the 20-year-olders. The TikTok is their way, maybe not of getting all the truth, but getting topics and information. And how they interpret those topics and information are two different things. Now, Sierra just said, Wyatt, but you say you don't want your platform to grow. I really don't want to be one of those big people. That wasn't the point. My point wasn't I'm suffering being small. I can grow if I want to. I'm paying attention. It's not just me. Antoine Daniels and people that have really important things to say might only have 25 views. But then you got these ignorant motherfuckers out here got 250,000 views of stuff that really is not helping anything. So it's not, I don't want to put it on me, Sierra. I'm talking about important topics, important things that we need to be talking about. It really don't get as much traction as ignorant shit that gets traction in this country. For us, we have learned to be entertained versus educated. And there's a repercussion to that. And as long as people look at entertainment over education, we'll always get the short end of the stick, because as long as we're pacified, we won't cry. We won't say anything. Everything will be good. Or it'll be a short argument until something else comes around to replace that argument. It's just like the fight that they had in Cincinnati. It started out, why ain't they charging the white boy? Matter of fact, I wanted to say something about that. So, sis, when you and I get off the phone, I want somebody to remind me. I got to say something because someone tagged me today. The prosecutor was on the radio today, and I listened to that segment of the radio because Connie Pillage in Cincinnati, Ohio, the prosecutor, Hamilton County prosecutor, was on the air, and I want to address that. So I'm just tired of seeing things get so much coverage. People and the Dr. Umar Johnsons and a lot of that shit just be so far left to the truth that you'll never fix a problem as long as you have people like that representing misinformation. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, sis.
And I hear you, Brother Wyatt. And I just want to say, I think that the Cincinnati leadership is trying to save Black manhood.
No, they're not.
They're trying to protect Black manhood by saying, don't smack a Black man or you're going to get this. And where that's a wrong premise, that resonates with people. People want to hear that the Black man is a victim. We love that.
Okay.
And as far as Anton, I feel like what happens is the guys who got rejected in high school or early in life, who didn't get the women that they liked because for whatever reason, they are angry now and they're lashing out on the internet. You have to pay attention. Attention cannot be refunded. So wherever you put your attention at, if I give you my attention every day, I expect you to feed me what you just said. Not that bullshit, but some. Let me tell you what you did. Since ain't no good men been in my life, and I'm gonna end with this. Let me tell you what you did for me, Wyatt. I was making $47,500 at Kroger's, And I was making maybe $700 a month with my little side business, making T-shirts and mugs and stuff.
I like that.
You said,
I like that.
You had said, this was back when I was living in Cincinnati, you said, go start your own business. Put your name on something. I had already had a LLC. I had already sold stun guns and pepper spray. So what you said didn't really, but you said, and look at your customer. So when you said that, I started thinking like, hey, I didn't work for Procter and Gamble. I didn't work for Cricket Communications. I didn't work for Kroger. And they all kind of keep me at the same salary. Let me see what else I can do. Do you know now as a notary, I make $400 to $500 a day just stamping my signature, just swearing somebody in with an oath. I give you credit to that.
No, that's all you, sis. That's all you.
No, I'm gonna give you that credit because you turned my attention. Quit chasing after a job. Quit chasing after low-paying clients who want high top quality service. And now I have more money for less time. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to train. I don't got to go nowhere. I can log into the loan signing system, see who refinancing their house or who's selling their house. They need 4 or 5 notarizations on the page.
That's right.
For me to show up, it's $70 to $100. For me to sit in a court hearing for somebody, it start at $100. Start. So, and I don't gotta leave my house.
Well, that's what's up. I mean, I don't know what to
So
say to
I'm
that.
just
I think
saying-
that's all you. Sometimes we just need to hear something again that we already have in our mind, and maybe you just heard me say something.
And there are positive men, positive brothers in the chat that you can pull from and get strength. You can ask Black Lion. I love Black Lion. That's like a brother of mine. Black Lion say something to me, I can have a whole bad day, and he'll say, there go my shero. Baby, listen, I'm on cloud 9. I'm jumping. I'm going in the bathroom, do my hair, put my heels on because they always remind me how good I look in my heels and my jeans. There are men in our
Black
community who are loving, who are kind, who are knowledgeable, who are leaders, who demand more than 30 seconds of your attention.
I just don't think the leader is the same in the community that it used to be 20, 30 years ago. I used to listen to the radio station, and we had real Black leaders back then. I don't think there was a lot of the game that's going on today and the fake outrage. I think some of the leaders at the ground floor level. I was listening to the radio one time, and the lady that's running on the rate, she's running for city council, Lakita Coles, and she went on the radio. I remember listening to that day, and she said some things, and she had some of the former Black leaders in the community sitting there with her. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was totally disgusted, not at her. I was disgusted that the mayor said something about the relevance of those 2 people that was sitting with her. See, that we live in a different world. There was a time where a mayor would have never said that about someone that was used to be, leader in the community.
But,
I mean, I just felt that was crazy. And I felt like that was kind of a slap in the face for the. No, I don't.
How is Dwight Tillery a relevant leader? Besides closing the health gap, and the health gap cannot be closed unless you have decent food. No matter how many testings you get.
Well,
if you don't have a decent diet, you're going to get diabetes, heart disease.
Well, let me ask you something,
exercising.
sis. Let me ask you something that how I see that. This is the only way I can answer the question, and I really got to go because I'm at the top of an hour and I'm 30 minutes over my time. But let me just say this to you. What you just said is how is that person relevant? I would say
Cecil Thomas.
Right,
How is he relevant?
I would say this to something like that.
Charlie Winburn.
Or is Satchel Paige relevant to baseball for Black people? Is the first Major League Baseball player that played in baseball, is he relevant to the game of baseball for Black folks? And my question to, I believe all beginning leaders, we still celebrate Martin Luther King. He was a leader. He doesn't have anything to do with the things that's going on today, but he was at the ground floor level of it all. I believe the leaders that help pave the way should always be respected and should always be paid homage, and they always should be considered to be relevant. I don't think it's cool to say that someone's not relevant when they help pave the way. They may not play a pivotal role in today's meetings, but at one point they sat at the table and they really moved the needle of the direction we're going in today. So I think that's important.
Which is probably why they shouldn't have any influence, because it was Charlie Winburn's idea to bring Mahogany's to the banks. Mahogany's already had a good brand, a good quality service where she was at. But because he was playing race politics and he said, we got to get somebody black on the bank, no matter if she can afford it or not, no matter if she can deliver consistent quality service with a dependable staff or not, we're going to jumble up $1 million in grants and loans that we wouldn't give to Avondale for a grocery store, that we wouldn't give to Over the Rhine for new housing, but we'll give to her so that we can show these white people we got a black business.
I don't know.
Ran
I'm not
girl
disagreeing.
Business name through the mud. Then had to have Smitherman audit the books and see the debacle she was in. He gave her good advice, told her to leave that business and do something else because it was gonna tank her. And today she's doing ice cream. But like I said, I appreciate you being there, being consistent, being intellectual and not a clown. Somebody that we can go to as a resource to strengthen our men in what is true masculinity. There's nothing masculine about a man always looking to fight a woman. It just ain't. Ain't nothing masculine about a nigga in a wig. Ain't nothing masculine about a man sitting up talking about men in wigs is more feminine than women. And there's nothing feminine about women saying that we stronger than men. I can't beat no man. I'm not stronger than no man. But men have to get in their proper roles, get in your proper place, take charge of your post, and stop making a nuisance with everybody else. But I'm gonna let you go because I'll go on and on.
All right, sis,
I just had to put that out there.
All right, I appreciate you, engaging with us today. I really do. All right, you be careful down there in Houston. All right, I hear, but I believe. How could you be okay? I mean, like, somebody had to start it for us. Someone had to pave the way. Someone had to pave the way. Look, this is my last call of the day. I'm supposed to be out of here at 3:30 and I've gone on, but I'm going to do this so we can maybe switch gears or whatever. I'm going to take this call. I don't recognize the number, so I'll just do this. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, it's your boy, Fam, man.
Twin, what's good? This a different phone?
How's the same one?
From when? I don't know. I don't recognize this number.
I've been calling. I was using my landline yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Charging my phone up.
Okay.
But it's still Twin in the mix, man.
Okay, it's still Twin.
I caught your fade earlier and stuff, how disrespectful you were. I ain't know you was that disrespectful, man. You turned on me, man.
Where was I disrespectful, Twin?
You said out your fluttering ass mouth that them Southside niggas think they hard, think they can beat everybody. I feel very disrespectful,
Wait a minute, bro. I stand on what I said, but
why you just didn't say the West Side? Why I gotta be the South Side?
Wait a minute, hold on. You gonna let me look? You said what you said. Can you at least let me get what I gotta say out of my mouth?
Get your jump off,
because I stand on what I said. But what I'm telling you is this. All right. The reason why I said what I said is because it was a Southside dude that went up to Winton Terrace and got drugged because he was up there in Winton Terrace talking crazy.
Man, he was crazy, man. I remember that day.
But that's what y'all do on the South Side of Chicago. Y'all represent South Side. Am I lying? Do y'all not represent South Side and you make it clear where you from? Y'all do the same shit Brooklyn people do. I'm from Brooklyn.
The West Side always we the best side. The West, man, they always on the best side, so I gotta say the South Side.
So the reason why I used that as an example, Twin, was because of the incident that happened in Winton Terrace. There's no secret to it. He he went up there talking mad and talking about he can beat up everybody. He wasn't just saying regular I'm tough stuff. He was saying I'll whoop anybody ass out here and y'all can go get whoever you want. That's
man, they want to hear that we shall overcome and all that, and he out there talking about a revolutionary movement, and
What are you
I
talking
said,
about?
man,
That ain't what that dude
that
was
du-
doing. He was
that
walking
dude,
around
huh?
waiting chairs with boxing gloves on and shit, bro. He was walking around reckless,
No, but you gotta
representing
go from the
Chicago.
how I was jumped off, man. He was talking that revolution, y'all should put the guns down and
I
all
didn't
that.
hear that.
Then that's when he went in his little goofy mode and stuff, started being on dummy mission. I'll beat everybody else. You
Okay,
can get it too. Oh
that
yeah.
I missed that. I missed that part. I never
Yeah,
knew that
but
he
see,
was
it's
some.
where he started. This ain't got nothing to do. You know all the guys that went there. They got poles and everything out there. Even little shorties out there.
So
It
what was
started
his
from a
point?
jump off when he thought, talking about y'all should put the guns down and all that. And then that's when he said, "Oh, I can beat you. Oh, you can get it." And everything. Because
Okay.
earlier that day he did knock down one shorty, but later on when he got on that corner, he was talking that yin yang, and they got down on him. So it was way before that, Wyatt.
Okay. I don't know
Yeah.
how it all started. I do know that he was
Yeah, he was
walking
one of them
around.
little. So I don't know if he was a fake Hebrew Israelite because he did have on their little clothes and all that, and he was walking around like he can do this and all that. And people when went there weren't going for that man gone, and he thought he was Macho Man Randy Savage, beat up the whole T, and he got what he asked for, like Holly did.
Yeah, well,
So
no, I didn't, Jerica.
yeah, it started. That's how it started, man. Because he'll go on live on Facebook, and
Yeah.
he'll say, this how
I mean,
this
it
and
went
all
on
that.
for a
He
while though,
practices
bro.
a box.
All the stuff that I seen, it went on for a while. It wasn't just one day. There was a couple days.
No. He went live and everything wide, and he said I'm boxing, and he was showing how he boxed and training people how to box. And then he started hollering at, y'all should put the guns down. And that's when he jumped out his body. Oh, you niggas think y'all this, and he using that little
Well, that makes sense.
crazy boxing skills, and them niggas that went tears got tired of hearing that.
Okay.
He got fought one. He did beat up one.
I didn't
can't
see
give him that before that video went live. The day before, he did get out on one. But that second one, dude had to get him. Oh, nah. Because dude, I seen dude in action before. He said, oh, he thought he was bad. And since dude looked like, since he older, the dude from Chicago think he older than the young boy, he had to get out on him. So I'm going to rock your ass to sleep. And that's what dude did. And then later on, he started fighting some more. Man, it was crazy. That dude had about 3 fights that day. Why they showed a lot of, he had 3 fights, man.
Yeah.
And old school, like, hey, that's enough.
Yeah, I didn't see
Yeah,
all
well,
of that
more
other
to
stuff
that,
before.
man.
I
I was
just
like, man,
know
you
there was
rushing out here, dude.
there was a week of him going around the community, walking around with boxing gloves and talking crazy, and it just didn't work out for him. What else you got, Twin? What's on your mind, though?
Real
quick.
Watch that Cardi B and all that, man. Somebody, man, she can't tell nobody, like nobody, man, especially these shorty. And I don't really, really listen to their news. The beats are hype, but their music is trash, the lyrics. And everything. So I don't really get into that crazy, man. It's football week. Why?
Yeah, it
about
is.
to go down, man.
Starts tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like I'm just looking at the commercial right here, the highest to lowest right now. It say September 5th, White.
What?
But it's probably already be out on the V-Box and Fire Stick.
What?
Spike Lee and Denzel Washington movie.
I've already seen the movie on the box.
Oh, you seen it already?
Yep, it's on the box.
I need to holler at you. I pay the $20 hollers every month, man, for my Fire Stick.
Oh, no, you got to get rid of that.
No. So I've seen dude, he was a vendor and everything, and he was telling me about it. He said you can get on Amazon 3-some, and you got the little hookup deal, White, little special. I need to holler at you, but
yeah, I
gotta see what's up, White. I gotta see, cause hey, I ain't keep on playing that.
You paying
$240 when I can get it for the free.
You paying $240 a month, or excuse me, a year if you're paying $20 a month, right? Or is that
right?
Is that what you're paying? Is $20 a month? You said?
Yeah, I paid.
Okay, so that's $240 a year. Yeah, now for
$20 a month. Come here, Hush. Caboose. Yeah.
You need to go ahead and get you a box, bro. I would recommend it to everybody, man. To
I got a Fire Stick, but like you said, in and out, and it be buffering and all that. Because I guess people be streaming, a lot of people, and certain time it be buffering. I'm like, man, dang, man. Yeah, so I'm like, yeah. I think nothing probably need to holler at you about that because
Yeah, well, let me
the
know.
rest of them like want like 350, maybe 400 when I looked on Amazon.
Mhm.
And then this dude said his guy got it for 3 something.
Yeah.
I said, man, what? I said, yeah, you just came with a new deal. You know, the community hookup.
They're $2.99, and then for
I
there's
know
a
you say
Wyatt.
275.
Yeah, there's a Wyatt Live
special.
discount. There's a
The
Wyatt
Wild
Live
Life
discount.
special. Just say I know why, right?
Yeah, if
Give
you
me
get
a
it
little-
from us, you have to buy it direct from the show, though. I mean, you buy it direct from me here for $2.75
Hey,
plus
Wyatt,
plus
did you
shipping
see
of
you
$10.
see that little clip I sent you? Man?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, bro?
Did you see that clip I sent you about that ABC Chicago news that
I seen
that
that you
William
sent it.
Leviston
I haven't
when I
watched
told
it
you
yet.
about
I seen that you sent it, but I haven't watched it yet.
man, when you see it, why you be like, man, you talking about a fight in Cincinnati, bro, whatever, in Hollywood, Holly, man, dude, man, he been the knockout kings, like I told Unc early. Hey, stop, boy! Hey, oh God, go in there with your mom. I'm sorry, what? Yeah, the knockout king and everything since 2012, man, been knocking women out. Hey, look, Wyatt, just knocked a girl 15-year-old out last year, man. Gave him 100 days on parole. I guess he maxed out his parole, got out, Wyatt, and just knocked the old girl out 3 days ago. Some white lady in Scope. Come on, man, it's a system problem. It's all it is, system problem. The same thing that when dude killed the old girl downtown her husband. It's a system problem, man. Even though we holler at mental issues, it's a system problem too, man. But you want to say, hey, don't bring the troops in. Man, hell with y'all, man. What do y'all want, really? You want the troops or you want to keep this crime going on? We've been hollering, why, 50, 60 years for justice, peace, whatever, 100,000 years or whatever. And finally, you got help coming in. And you want to avoid it because you don't like the man because you saying he racist and use a Trumpster, a MAGA. No, man. When the help's right there in your face, take it. Take advantage of it. Otherwise, you go see somebody or your little brother or cousin. Man, I wish they would send the troops in, man. Until they hit home, right? You go see. Ain't hit home yet, but one of your cousin relatives get hit. But hey, man, why Jake get killed last night? She was just on her way to work. He was on his way to work. I just talked to him. No, you the same one that was saying he racist and stuff and don't want the truth. That's all I'm saying, White.
All right.
So it
All
is
right,
what
man.
it is. So
All right,
listen, them state troopers been here though in Cincinnati. I don't know why they think that's something new. That's been on Red Road since I've known. So people act like this new. I don't understand when people just weird to me, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all I gotta say. Hopefully, you know.
Okay, bro. Well,
What, Saturday? You go on Monday? Or you out of town or something?
I don't know if I'm gonna be. I should be back on Monday. I have to
Oh,
check.
you gotta come back on Monday. We gotta talk smack, man, because you know, NFL and all that. Now I'll probably call you Tuesday because my Bears play Monday. And I know you gonna call. No, I'll call you Monday because I don't want you to clown me.
Y'all on Monday Night Football?
Yeah, we on Monday Night Football. You gonna clown me if we lose. So I'm gonna hold my peace for then, man. But
I'll get you on Tuesday. I'll get you on Tuesday. I don't even know who y'all playing, but I'm sure I'll be able to
play
get
Minnesota, man.
Oh yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday. Y'all through. It's over.
What you say?
Minnesota gonna drag y'all, bro. That's all I can tell you.
All right, man. It's cool, dog.
All right, bro.
It's
I'll
cool.
see you, man.
Don't come to Kroger's.
Okay. All right, man.
All
right. Thanks for engaging with us, bro. Quick thing, I just want to say this. I really got to go, man. I'm supposed to be out of here at 3:30. I'm well over my time, and I know that it's gonna be messy for me when I get off this air because I really have not responded to some of my emails that I have here in front of me, and I really need to do that. But I did want to bring something up real fast. I happened to hear the conversation with Connie Pillage, is the prosecutor, and Mr. Ware. I think if I was Mr. Ware, I would have asked one question. I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe I missed it because I was tagged. And when I wouldn't even say tag. Somebody emailed me. They text messaged me and said that Connie Pillage was on the radio station. You want to listen? And I'm like, I can't right now. And she said, the person that texted me said, it's on Black Radio. So I'm like, oh, I gotta hear this. I can listen to, I don't care what she's talking about down in 700 or 55K. I don't care what they say because that shit is like consistently the same over there. But I was interested to know what she would say on the black radio station in Cincinnati. I was just curious to know how that conversation was going to go. So I got there a little bit late, so maybe I missed something. So my question before I get into my comment, so maybe somebody can answer the question while I'm talking, is this. Did anyone hear Mr. Ware ask her why they didn't charge that man, why she didn't charge the man for the slap? I heard in the conversation her kind of distance herself by saying, that's not our thing. That's the city who charged him with that misdemeanor, and we don't have anything to do with that. You see what I'm saying? I heard that part. And for me, that would have been, and I'm not the best interviewer in the world. I will say I'm not, like, if I throw an interview, I'm just going to have a conversation with somebody with the things that I would want to know. I don't think I would be the best suit to throw an interview, to be honest with you, unless people think the way I think. Mine would have been a little bit more technical. I would have asked questions like, and I would only needed one, because this would have answered a lot of what the community has been wondering, what they've been saying, what they've been fighting. Your leaders have been out wondering why this wasn't happening. I would have just asked Connie Pillage one question, and that is, why didn't you charge that man with a felony? Why didn't you charge him for what he did, for slapping? This is how the black community is seeing this situation. So if you're going to come to black radio, I think that would have been an explanation point. I mean, like, you can explain it right then and there. Like, was that a question? I'm not going to say it wasn't a question because I like I said, I didn't hear the whole thing. Jerica said, okay, she was listening, obviously. She says, yes, that was, excuse me, hold on, screen move. She said, yes, that's what she said. She deflected. He asked her that. What did she say? What was her answer to that question of why didn't you charge that man? Could it be what I told you here? Because she's not going to, she knew it was a misdemeanor. She knows in the evidence that they're going to present in trial that there's more to this story than the black community is talking about. I'm not on her side, folks. It's just I'm trying to roll out what I've been saying to you all. This is why I've been saying a long time ago, I said, wait a minute, hold on. Y'all looking at some videos that's not even going to be presented as evidence. This is going to be a totally different situation in a court. DeAndre says the charges wouldn't stick. Remember I said that? I said, if you charge this man with a felony, everybody going to keep their charges, and then it's going to look like these charges got thrown out, and it's going to be even worse. Remember we had these conversations, and I know I was the bad guy for saying to you exactly what you may have heard today, because when I heard her talking, by the time I got there, I got there kind of probably toward the end. And I'm pretty sure she told y'all today that they're not even going to use the video from what we all seen. They're going to use stabilized video from cameras in the streets, and probably some snitches that they have working the streets, some undercover police officers that they have. Those people were probably recording. And I'm like, they're not going to, the evidence that will be presented in court will not be anything that we have seen out here in the public. Did she not say that today? She didn't say it like that. She didn't say it like that. But isn't that the interpretation that you got from her when she was telling you that, oh, we're not even going to use the video that most people seen? There might be one or two. Do you know what she means when she says there might be one or two cell phone videos that we may use? Do you think it's going to be the things that we've seen? No, it's going to be the undercover police officers that have been on the scene. It's going to be the people that actually were there and recorded some of this stuff. And it's going to be the videos from the sky. It's not going to be the red shirt guy getting slapped, and that's the point of start for the evidence. It's none of that is going to be there. And y'all have to admit, whether you like me or not, Wyatt laid it out there about how this is going to stretch out. You know I told you exactly everything she just told you. That's what they're going to use in court. You know what I heard in that damn second bond hearing when I heard what they said, and I heard the prosecutor say that these were the instigators and we can surely prove that. I told you they got different evidence than what the community is showing. And what I have a problem with is, how are your leaders? They're smarter than me. Why are they out here even putting more fuel to the fire of some stuff when they know that the evidence is not anything that we have seen in the public's eye? Why would you do that? Why would you antagonize? Why would you rev up the community like that? Why would you do that when you know that this case, whether we like it, and I told y'all, I'll go to bat. If it come out that they lying and they don't have other videos and they can't prove and they can't do the things that they say they were going to do, I'm going to make it tough for their ass over here on Wyatt Live. I told you I'm going to make it tough. But I also know how those people work. And I know they had people standing in the crowd that was shooting video that are snitches. Y'all call them snitches. They work for the police. I knew they were going to use the cameras in the sky. They're not going to use any of that cell phone video that hits social media. That's not what they're using. They can't depend on it. A defense attorney will eat that up. I'm just being honest with you. And for some odd reason, I didn't really need to hear that today, but it was good that I did. I think Mr. Ware did a great job. I just think I would have asked that one question, but according to Jerica, I missed it. So I think he did a great job. I think that there could have been some other questions that would have been there, but because I would have put her on, not blast. I would have made her be a little bit more detailed in who she meant when she said things like, well, there's some people that just don't see this the same way or the right way, based on the information that they have and the information that we have. And then I would have probably got into what I talk about here, and that would have been, wait a minute, do you think it's fair that you have leaders in the community that are basing their arguments or their stances off things that's not even using the accurate evidence that they're going to be using in court? Like, I would have made her answer those questions. I can't make her do anything. I would have posed those questions to be answered so the community would have had a better understanding, because they don't listen to Wyatt Live. There's only a few of you, Jerica, Mama Birch. There's only a few of you I can think of off the top of your head. Twin, that Brenda Early. Y'all watch pretty much, y'all watch the radio. You listen to it. I don't know, listen or watch. I know it's on both, Facebook Live and all of that. Y'all can stay steady with it. Y'all know what's going on. So you're being hearing some of the things that I say. You would think that those same questions would be posed over on radio so you can have a better understanding, or you would at least know that, hey, Wyatt says this. Maybe somebody should ask that question, and maybe we'll have a better understanding of what the hell Wyatt is talking about, and he's just not, running off the track with some BS. But it's funny how everything that I've told you about this situation before it got to this point, we were going to be at this point sooner than later. I knew we were going to be here. I just had a problem with your leadership doing what they did in broad daylight. And that's always been my argument. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate them. What I don't like is when you have people that call themselves leaders and they don't mind leading you down they know what's right. They know what's wrong. That bothers me. That bothers me a little bit. I've been saying since day one, the nice way of saying what I've been saying is this: let it play out. Let it play. Wait to see what the evidence is that the state, that your county prosecutors have. Let's see what they have before you judge this and think that it's all about that one slap. I showed you video right here on this camera on our show that it started well before that one slap. Everybody had an answer to that. Oh, he was kicking cars. Or he said this. He called the N-word. He did that. We'll know, because some testimony will be. It won't be all street people that'll be making these testimonies in court. It's going to be some undercover cops. It's going to be some video cameras that you never seen, that you never knew where they were. I told you that there was going to be, and I may be wrong on this because I heard Connie Pillage say, no, we're not necessarily using video from inside of the club. Then that means nothing in there is relevant. I said that I thought it would be relevant because I was on the side of the people who I felt were being charged and we didn't have all the information. So I'm like, wait a minute, maybe these guys, being the Russians or whoever they were acting a damn fool inside the club and the shit spilled out on the street. So I think inside the club video would be very relevant here. But when Connie Pillage said, we're not going to use any of that, then there's probably nothing there inside the club that ignited what we seen. Inside the club is probably irrelevant at this point. I could be wrong. Maybe she was lying. Maybe that was a curveball. She didn't have to come on radio and be honest. I mean, strategically, it wouldn't make any sense to sit back and give you all the angles that they're going to be taking in their case. That would be a bad thing for them to do. That's why they generally don't talk about the case, because it wouldn't serve them any. It's not going to do them any good while they're attempting to get a conviction. Here we are, folks. I pretty much said this is where it's going to be. And you should have seen the DMs. You should have seen the messages that I was getting. I'm all on their side. It was ugly. I don't even care. But all I can tell you is it's playing out the way I told you it would. And I said, they're not even going to use the video that y'all watching. I promise you that. And I got a lot of backlash for that. I'm used to it. I'm Wyatt Live. Peace and love to all you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Same time, same place, same adventure. None but love.
My homie Tretch from Naughty by Nature once said, if you ain't from the ghetto, don't come to the ghetto. But I'm gonna let one of our most immaculate tall guys take us all through the ghetto. Rick James.
When I was a young boy, growing up in the ghetto, hanging out on corners, singing with the fellas, looking for the cute chicks, trying to find me big fun, looking for some trouble, for anyone who'd give me some. I was young and crazy,
In the ghetto,
didn't know what my life would be.
In the ghetto.
I was dumb and oh so
in the
lazy.
ghetto,
Something had a spell on me.
In the ghetto.
You wanna know what I'm talking about?
talking about ghetto life, talking about ghetto life,
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
talking about ghetto life,
Ghetto
talking about ghetto life, in the ghetto.
So we be taking them chances while we search for the answers. We be smoking them cancer sticks. Police provoking. We dancing and we be dodging them bullets. They be popping off at it. But yet we always romance the street and fall in love with the hood till somebody come. They always up to no good. So all of my fam could eat. In the hood, we hungry. We playing for keys. My soldiers on the block, get on it. It be good if you flaunt it. We will take if we want it. See, from the ghetto, got a different state of mind with a different kind of hustle, and we iller with the grind and develop our muscle till we sicker with the shine and the struggle. Thus our money come quicker doing crime. I see the way we rep the hood. Gotta love me. You can take me out the ghetto, but you can't take it from me. Gotta love it.
Talking about ghetto life,
Ghetto
talking about ghetto life,
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
talking about ghetto life,
Ghetto
talking about ghetto life, in the ghetto.
That's where we get into that street. Hustle hard, try to get money quick.
In the ghetto.
It's where I got my name from. I learned to get money and I got all my game
In
from.
the ghetto,
It's where you eat with a bunch of the wolves and get the hustling as hard as you
In the
could.
ghetto.
Until your cake stacking to get good. Throw a block party for the whole
in the
hood.
ghetto,
With them burnout sellies, talk crazy, sell drugs in front of Poncho Deli. Crackhead chicks still smoke with babies in their belly. In the prison elevators till the lobby all
in the
smelly.
ghetto,
It's where I keep my ratchets, get my instincts and survival tactics. Ain't nothing like the hood. I don't care. You survive it in the ghetto, you can make it anywhere. Gotta love it.
talking about ghetto life,
Ghetto
talking about ghetto life,
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
talking about ghetto life,
Ghetto
talking about
Coast, rap your ghetto. West Coast, rap your ghetto. Midwest, rap your ghetto. To my dirty South, rap your ghetto. Even though they act rude, you'll always find a good chick to hold up for they dude. Behind the me and my clique on the move. We honor the code of the street and live by the rules. It's where all of the hoods at. Find the most crooks and they sell the most at. Where you find beautiful women and rugrats and some of the most powerful people. I love that. Come on.
Talking about ghetto life.
You wanna know what I'm talking about?
Talking about ghetto life.
You wanna know what I'm singing about?
Talking about ghetto life.
Ghetto life.
Talking about ghetto life. In the ghetto.
Never mind who you thought I was. I'm Rick James.